Hey, ba-dum-bum-bum-ba-da-da-da. Welcome to KocoSports Monday Night Raw Review. I am the huge one, a.k.a. the idiot, Dave Koco from KocoSports.com or KocoSports.net, where it's okay to be a passionate fan. As always, we ask you win, loss, or tie. I had enough. I just give it a loss. I got a loss so much that Rassslin Rantin has a limited edition time. They come on here. He's like, oh, I only have so much on my contract. I begged him. I just threw internet money at Rassslin Rantin. I was like, Rassslin Rantin, I need you now more than ever. So Rassslin Rantin is on the show, and we also have Novelist Skye on the show. So welcome, gentlemen. We will start with Rassslin Rantin since he has seniority. Rassslin Rantin, tell me why, as a pro wrestling fan, I shouldn't jump off the 7th floor of my building.
Because we got 2 good segments out of 9. Well, actually, a 7.5 out of 9. That was it. No, actually, I can't say that. I'll give it, I guess, a weak loss.
A weak loss, so almost a tie. Almost a tie.
Almost a tie. There were 2 things that were redeemed it, but the rest of the show that I saw was shit.
All right, and Rassslin Rantin, tell the internet infantry where they can find you.
Well, you can go to webchannel24.com/Rassslin. That's with 3 S's, RASSLIN, and you can see all of the articles, all of the videos, top 10 lists, and of course you can see our reviews from last year. Some of them have Koco, some of them have Booms, and other people that do stuff with me. And we are reviewing Raw intermittently every couple of weeks and doing retrospective video reviews. We will be getting back to those on WrestleMania 2 starting next month.
Sounds sweet, sounds sweet. So make sure to check out Rassslin Rantin. And we also have a novelist and indie wrestler, Skye. Now, Skye, we were originally going to like, hey, man, we're going to put you on a B show. We're going to put you on a Fave 5. We're not going to throw you to the Wolves right away. We're not going to throw you to our flagship show. But this show was so horrible, we're like, hey, if you suck, it equals. It equals just as bad as the Monday Night Raw that we're about to review. Skye, first off, introduce yourself, win, loss, or tie, and what can the internet infantry do for you?
Alrighty, freaking Skye Bynes. I honestly give it a win. I love the show. I thought it was great from top to bottom. Heck yeah, dude. I thought it was great, dude. I thought freaking just about every match was pretty freaking solid. I wasn't bored. I wasn't bored for a single second. As far as where you can find me, I'm honestly not all over the place. Freaking YouTube, Skye Bynes, SKYEBYNES. Just stop. Anyway, freaking Facebook, Skye Bynes. There's only one of me in the whole world, so you will only find me, SKYEBYNES.
Hold on. I gotta call you on this. You're an indie wrestler, so what was good about it? Like what? Like I am about to like there's always people that like, well, if you don't like it, don't watch it. Those son of a bitches might win. Matter of fact, in the KocoSports.internet infantry, they're like, who was the heel tonight? I'll tell you who the fucking heels were. It's the goddamn fans. That's who the fucking heels were. How the fuck was this good? Now, I know you're an indie wrestler, so you're one of those fucking conspiracy theorists that Vince McMahon listens to everything and you won't get fucking booked. But no, that's bullshit.
No,
if you're fucking bringing, it's a fucking win. You gotta bring why. Why was it a win?
I mean, why was it, like, what? You made it a loss. There was not a single boring match on the card. Freaking, there was
the main
some
event
sort
was
of
horrible.
The what?
The main event was horrible. What intrigue was there in the main event?
Well, I mean, I guess you're right there. The main event itself was the only, like...
All right, go on. I don't mean to pick on
like,
you your first day on the job.
There did a shit for like 8 minutes during that whole segment with freaking Rusev and them freaking, let's see. Oh, yeah, I guess you got me there, dude. Main event was a little weak. Main event was a little weak.
We'll get you a bunch. All right, so we got me, who I watched Battlegrounds. There was a couple surprise matches. By the way, Rassslin Rantin, congratulations on your sponsored deal with Bray Wyatt. He really showed up at that pay-per-view. Give yourself a Barry Horowitz. The second thing is that I am really negative. I needed my friends on this show more than ever. And third, we got positive freaking PD over here. So Rassslin Rantin, you're going to have to be the man of reason. You're going to have to step in between us.
Yeah, somebody's got to tell the truth on this shit, for God's sakes.
All right. Well, I tell the truth. I'm just a negative friggin' fool.
That's not the truth. That's a slap. All right, so guys, out there, internet infantry, we have Fox News and CNN tonight. I'll just play BBC. There you go.
Gotcha. Oh, all right.
I mean,
So
I don't know. The way I saw it, I didn't see any botches tonight. I didn't see like any match that didn't make any sense to happen. I didn't see anything that like put me to freaking sleep. I was actually pretty hyped the whole show. Nothing really bothered me at all. Like I don't know, I just didn't see anything bad. You know what I mean?
maybe it's
And I think
my
I saw
fault for
plenty of
watching
good.
G1.
Like the Divas match was good. Sorry.
maybe it's my fault. You know, I watched the G1. I watched good wrestling, and it's my fault. I've been exposed to good
it is your
wrestlers.
job. It is your job. You probably burned the hell out of yourself. You know what I mean? Like realistically, but I mean, I don't know. You know, I just didn't see anything.
All right, let's break it down. We will be getting the comments tonight. Please put down in the comments win, loss, or tie. We'll try to get to them as much as we can. There's the KocoSports.net Internet Infantry chat. You can also get us on Twitter at KocoSports, and we'll try to make the best of it. All right, let's break this down. Bum bum bum. The show opens up with the Undertaker. Now, I'm not a huge Undertaker fan, but unlike Cena, which there'll be a lot of picking on Cena tonight. Unlike Cena, even though as a fan, I'm not a fan of Undertaker, I respect him because he brings joy and happiness into people's hearts. You know, like at last night's pay-per-view and tonight, I was like, oh, this guy's not my type of wrestling. This guy's not my type of guy. But the fact that he brings joy to so many people, you can like look past your hatred and respect him. So the Undertaker does come out, and they basically just make the match for Brock Lesnar at Undertaker at SummerSlam. And once again, people are asking in the Internet Infantry chat, who's the heel? We're the fucking heel. Pro wrestling fans are the goddamn heel these days. Rassslin Rantin, what's your thought of basically this match coming up, and who do you think is the heel?
I don't think there is a heel in this. I think you got two badasses going. You knew this match would have to come. So theoretically, Taker's retiring, we would think, at WrestleMania 32. He's not going to face Brock then. SummerSlam's the second biggest show of the year. They had to get the rematch in, and this is what we got. I think this is another Warrior Hogan kind of thing, another Stone Cold versus Undertaker thing from back in the day where you basically have two badasses that really don't like each other, and we're going to see them knock the shit out of each other, and people are going to like it. The way they booked it last night, that's a totally different story, and I'm sure we'll get to that later. That's where the confusion comes in as far as who's the heel, who's the face, why is this going on. Bad storytelling.
And I don't think there has to be a heel when it's such a thing. Even Triple H backstage said, you know, hey, this main event fell in my lap. You know, it was kind of funny, just, you know, I don't know. I'm starting to like Triple H a little more and more. I think he's really getting into the groove of being, you know, the boss, you know, because before it always felt like he was Vince McMahon Jr. Now it feels like he's starting to become his own character. And they also announced the main event, which is Randy Orton, Cesaro, John Cena versus Sheamus, Rusev, and Kevin Owens. And, you know, yeah, New Japan. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, please watch New Japan. That's the message of tonight's show. Watch New Japan. But New Japan has a lot of six-man tags, and Dragon Gate does. But in Dragon Gate, it makes sense because they have the team situation. And in New Japan, they at least give you the respect not to end them fucking the night with a six-man tag. I don't know how you feel about it, but I think six-man tags really just don't count. Like, there's no purpose of six-man tags. It's like, it's as equal as going to a house show. They're just like, these matches don't count. Skye, what do you think of Undertaker Brock? Who's the heel? And what did you think about the main event announcement?
The announcement itself I thought was hilarious because it was like so rushed. I mean, like while it's true, that's really all the narrative it needed. Like, you know, with Triple H saying, well, you know, that just plans itself, yada yada. But I just found it very like hilarious how fast it was rushed as far as the announcement was concerned. As far as the announcement was concerned, there you go. Beep. Anyway, freaking then as far as like, you know, who I think is like heel and face. I mean, last night, like, you know, kind of like Rantin said, it was a little blurry. I wasn't really sure if like, you know, the low blow was all about them trying to say either Taker was the heel. I don't know if it was them trying to say, Taker saying, screw it, Brock's too freaking strong, I'm going to do this just to get the upper hand and screw it, it's a personal effort, or if they were just trying to protect Lesnar altogether and have the Undertaker get the upper hand without Lesnar having to, pretty much take an ass kicking, because Lesnar didn't really take much from Seth, you know what I mean? So, you kind of had to, blur that in and, kind of protect Lesnar in a way without Undertaker just going ahead, grabbing his throat, calling it a day. So I kind of agreed with how they went about it. It's kind of the only way they could have, and it kind of leaves up to speculation. So people can just kind of think about it. It doesn't have to always, spell out. You know what I mean? You can just leave it to think about it and say, screw it. We're gonna go with this because it's the easiest way to get out of it.
And one thing that Triple H did is he did call Paul Heyman and said, "Hey, no need to come in tonight." Then it opens up. You got Charlotte versus Brie Bella. You got What's Great About Women's Wrestling and Brie Bella. I don't know. It's hard. It's hard times. It's difficult to because WWE finds a way to give you hope and crush it over and over and over again. And this Raw, to me, was just crushing. Brie Bella versus Charlotte, it's just why? Why Brie Bella? And Charlotte does get the victory. She gets the figure 8. But it's unfair. It's like watching Michael Jordan play one-on-one in his prime versus a dog with 3 legs in basketball. It's just not fair. And there's still people that think that the Bellas can hang, and it's ridiculous. If the Bellas weren't twins and the Bellas didn't sleep with who they slept with, they wouldn't have jobs. And the Bellas are absolutely what's wrong with the world today. Even Nikki Bella later on. No, they are. They're really what's wrong with the world today. Even Nikki Bella, she dared to drop Ronda Rousey's name a couple times. Here's the difference. Ronda Rousey is a great woman. Ronda Rousey is a role model. Ronda Rousey is an athlete. She is the perfect role model, athlete, woman.
It's amazing.
Nikki Bella, you are just a whore. I don't know if you know this, all right? You're just a whore. That would be like me going to a basketball court claiming me and Larry Bird have something in common. No, we don't. You and Ronda Rousey have nothing in common. I'm glad Charlotte's winning. I'm glad that the NXT girls are on separate teams. Well, one of them's on a separate team, just so we can have some decent matches. But, I mean, all these people out of Rassslin Rantin knows, because he deals with the community, all these people that are like, oh, no, the Bellas can hang. Are you still saying that? Are you still saying that? Rassslin Rantin, what do you think about the Bellas being what's wrong with the world today?
I think ISIS and Donald Trump probably have them.
All right, first question of the day. Rassslin Rantin's first question of the day. Where do you rank ISIS, Donald Trump, and the Bellas as far as the biggest world problems? We'll find out in the comments.
I'll put Trump underneath. I'll put Trump as 3, Bellas as 2, and ISIS as 1. But so the Bellas are worse than Donald Trump, because Donald Trump at least is somewhat smart and knows how to play the media. But anyway, back to wrestling. The Bella, to this match, Charlotte, she did have a botch earlier in the match when she tried to do the plancha over the top rope. It didn't go too well. I don't know if it's the camera angle or what. She did a plancha to nobody. Like, the Bellas were about 10 feet away from her. I don't know who she was trying to jump on, but she totally missed it. That being said, that match was an okay Divas match. It wasn't, certainly wasn't the best one tonight. That tag team match, we'll get to that later. She had a good showing. I like the way that they're introducing the NXT girls. I have backed off of the Bellas and said that Nikki has improved. Her performance at Beast in the East was serviceable. But as far as them hanging with Naomi and Paige and Charlotte and Sasha Banks and Becky Lynch, you saw it tonight. Not even close. So Charlotte had to carry that match with Brie. And the best thing that Brie could do, basically, was steal moves from her husband to get any kind of crowd reaction. So, and to Brie, I'm glad for Charlotte. And we're still early in this, so whether or not this is going to work we'll see in the future. As far as what are they calling it, the Divas Revolution or whatever they're calling it, we'll see if it works or not.
Yeah, and on Twitter we had a live tweet about this Divas Revolution thing. Hold on, let me see if I can read this real quick. It's from @Pharaoh Oh man, that's not easy. James Ramsey. Guys, I am punch drunk. You got to come up with simpler names like Skye and Rassslin Rantin. Pharaoh Offensi, I guess is what his Twitter handle is. The whole Divas Revolution is a Stephanie McMahon ass-kissing fest. And there is a part of that, but are we willing to sacrifice Stephanie McMahon segments, which we're going to have anyway, to see the likes of Charlotte and Sasha Banks wrestle? So, all right, so let's break down the next match. Do you have anything to add, Skye, to the women's match?
Yeah, good call, Randon. I forgot about that freaking weird-ass plancha. I think basically what happened there was Charlotte was going over to dive on Brie or whatever, obviously, and I think Brie missed her cue, as always, and was like way far too back. And Charlotte kind of paused and was like, whatever, go through with the spot. But I think she just went for it anyway, and that just made it look retarded. But I'm sorry, remedial. Retarded is a very mean word. Remedial. We'll
never know the truth behind that because I doubt they'll ever do a shoot interview. I mean,
first thing
Charlotte could have fucked up, but either way, it was a botch.
Yeah, first thing that went through my mind was like, oh, great. Brie's trying to freaking take Charlotte out earlier, you know what I mean? Freaking take her out of the game. It'd be smart enough.
Like, and that leads that. I don't think see, if it was competition like ice skating, I know that we're comparing ice skating to pro wrestling, but let's be honest. If it was competition like ice skating, then yeah, it makes sense to like take out your opponent with a pipe lead bar. But if you're a pro wrestler, it makes no sense not to injure your opponent because all you have to do is be like, yeah, look who I'm sleeping with, her, never winning again. Like it so lacks competition these days, and I'm not even saying like oh, it's not a sport. I'm not going down that route. I'm saying it lacks competition where talent doesn't matter. This is. Talent doesn't matter, so like I don't think you have to injure your opponent if you're a Bella or if you don't have to do anything. All you have to literally do is I don't like this person. Be like, well, that person's career is over, and that's why working for WWE must be a blessing.
I do have one more thing to add if it's all right. As far as like it happened to be Brie tonight, I guess it makes enough sense because like you want to start week, they have a whole story to like pan out with unless it's gonna be one of those, one-off storylines, which I'm going to doubt. I'm sure they're going to try to go somewhere with this. So,
they're definitely protecting the Nikki-Charlotte match. They're protecting that for a while. But here's the thing. It looks really bad if you got if you're Nikki Bella, because she's probably the alpha female in that group. You have Nikki Bella, your sister, and then Alicia Fox, who literally joined a couple weeks ago. And you're throwing your sister out first in a line of defense? That's not good sistering right there. Mine is 10. Bad sister. I'm not a sister, but I imagine it. If I was a sister, I'd protect my sister.
Not a brother either.
I mean, it could be them subliminally trying to say that Nick is more pretentious than anything. She has no real power. It's just her sister. You know what I mean? You can always send your family to go out there, because they love you. They have your back. And then as far as once again, like with Brie being the first. You got a story to tell, you know what I mean? You got to kind of stretch that out. You don't want all the best matches now. You don't want freaking, you don't want to see like Charlotte and like Naomi just yet. You know what I mean? You don't want to, like you said, you don't want to bury those people just yet. You want to protect them and stuff. So, I mean, for now, I can see them starting this way. And Brie's trying to get out soon anyway. So, we'll be saying peace out to her anyway. She can get buried in this situation.
Well, they kind of tipped their hand a little bit. JBL did when he, once for the 80,000th time reminded us that he was in the WWE during the Monday Night Wars, even though he really wasn't part of it. But anyway, talking about the NWO and the invasion, they tipped their hand because I think the plot is that Nikki's going to throw Foxy and Brie in the way in defense as all these challenges are coming at her, and the payoff for this is going to be when we get to 290 days or whenever that's going to be. I don't know if anybody out there in infantry knows when Nikki would break AJ's streak. I think that might be where this is all leading to. And the question will be, which I will actually be interested in the Nikki Bella match, that last match, will she break the streak or will she not break the streak? Will Charlotte, Sasha, or Paige defeat her for the championship before she can get there? That'll be the question.
Yeah.
I think just out of pure bitterness and,
Spite.
Vince, spite, that's the word I was looking for. Thank you, sir. Out of spite that Nikki will break the record. And it's just going to be sad. There was so much hope. But there's still one thing I have hope in, and that's the tag team division. You have the Primetime Players versus the Los Matadors. I really enjoy the tag team division right now. I think this is the first time in a while that I think you can have 2, maybe 3 teams if the Usos return that you can be like, no, they deserve to be champions. And if you push a couple more tag teams, they can rebuild it. The Los Matadors do get the win, even though it's a non-title match, which is absolutely ridiculous. But they were distracted by New Day, and then New Day mocks Primetime Players at the ramp as the music hits. I'm enjoying all the tag teams, and I'm interested to see when the Usos come back. We'll start Rassslin Rantin in the batting order. What was your thoughts on the tag match in the division?
Tag match was kind of a throwaway. I don't know what's up with Titus's offense. It's basically, we got feedback from that. But it's basically just kind of shoulder blocking people very casually. He's kind of missing, and I don't know. I'm not a big fan of Titus's offense. I think he needs to tighten it up a bit. Gary Young has been improving a lot. I like the side suplex on the apron to one of the most mandatories. The New Day, though. My brothers. This cornering, do you see how Koco came out and he's all...
I love the character.
Fucking god damn. I'm just like, you might as well just paint yourself blackface. That's it. Come on. It's terrible. Terrible. I can't do it. But anyway, after that, I think it's good that they're continuing the feud. But I don't know. It's not. It doesn't hold my interest too long. This was one of the spots in the night where I kind of tuned out a little bit.
Yeah. I don't know. I wish they just gave him more time and had a better chance, but I think it's the first day. I know the New Day isn't what we wanted, but they're definitely taking the ball and making the best of it. And it should be interesting. Next. Oh, go ahead, sir.
No, I can see the New Day I can see them turning into faces later on. People just dig the fact that they're so over the top, and it's just cheesy and goofy like that. But right now,
give me 5 seconds. I gotta go yell at people. It's all you.
What's the next? Well, tell me the next match before you yell at people. I guess I'll take it over. So the wrestling fans, Rassslin Rantin's taking over KocoSports, and I guess I'll read user comments. Since Dave's going over there, I will read the comments because I can do that because I am awesome. And of course, you can reach Dave on Twitter at KocoSports and send tweets into the show to let us know what you think, voice your opinions, and do all kinds of nifty, fun stuff like that. So I am going to bring up your comments, and we are going to answer them as soon as I mute this. All right. So, and Dave's probably going to kill me for doing this, but I'm going to do it anyway. Power Play says, the Taker-Lesnar thing was good, but the longer it went on, the more and more I could see Taker's age. True. He has to rest up every 2 minutes now. I don't feel angry about the pauses. I feel bad that Taker has to do this crap at his age. Very true. Taker did look a little he does look ragged, but dude's 50 years old. I mean, what are you going to do? I did notice his hair back. He's got I don't know when Taker got all this hair on him, but he looks like Crypt Keeper, kind of saggy face. I don't know, the wrinkles and everything else. He's not 1990s Undertaker. He's not going to be. Like I said, he's an old dude. I think he made a showing tonight, though. He can still elicit a response from the crowd. His promos still get over. Bray Wyatt should take some notes on how Taker delivered his promo because, again, Bray does kind of the same kind of shit. So I don't know. Physical performance, I am worried about for SummerSlam, but we'll see how that goes. Dave, are you back?
I'm back. Sorry about that. My son's flipping out because he can't find his Game Boy. The secret of not having kids. Listen, kids are awesome, but yeah.
Oh, unpredictable.
So,
Why? I started reading the YouTube comment. I only read one from Power Play, so if you want to jump to that part, you can do it.
all right, no problem. Yeah. We'll get back to it. Let's just do one more match and then we'll do it. All right. Did you talk about the next match, The Miz versus Big Show?
I don't even know what it was, so no.
Yeah, and I have to find a way. Skye right now is muted, but I don't know how to unmute him. Great. Thank you, Google Plus. All right, Skye, we'll work on you. Oh, there you go.
Can you hear me?
There you go. You're back, sir.
I unmuted myself. I guess that works. That's pretty awesome.
Oh, cool. Yeah, just lower your volume a little bit because there's an echoey when you talk.
Might be because I'm too close. I don't know. Is it still there?
No, you have to lower your output volume or put in an earpiece because you hear an echo.
Oh, gotcha.
All right. So what do you got to say? Because we're about to go to the next match.
Let's see. Well, tag team match, I thought it was alright. Los Matadores, in my eyes, looked kind of like heels because they knew what was going on. They took advantage anyway, but once again, competition, screw it. What did you just talk about? Reigns and freaking Luke?
All right, welcome back. We'll just jump on the bus from here. We got the Miz versus Big Show. Miz earlier in the promo. All right, hold on, Skye.
I missed that completely anyway.
You have to put in. You have to either lower your volume or put in an earpiece because when we unmute you, it's very echoey. So if you got an earpiece or something like that, that'd be awesome. And then you can. I guess you have to unmute yourself. All right. So the Miz talked smack earlier in the night. Then they make him have a match versus the Miz versus Big Show. And Big Show just throws him around and knocks him out. And I hate to use the word squash match, but I'm pretty sure this counts as a squash match. Your winner is the Big Show. Oh, I hope more stuff happens at once. That's what I hope happens. Live broadcasting. Oh, man. All right. Yeah, so, and now, Rassslin Rantin, you care more about the definition of words, than I do. You have to consider this a squash match, am I right?
Oh yeah, I would. Well, I consider it a squash match, but what else is the Miz going to do? He's not incredible. His credibility is so far removed from WrestleMania 27, where he main evented. Not really. He's one of the people that's expendable that you could get off this roster. There's nothing to do with him. The only purpose he serves is for squash matches. By the way, I do have a question for everybody. Nobody's talked about it for weeks. What the hell happened to Mizdow? Has anybody seen Mizdow at all? That whole feud? What happened?
Well, and not only that, but I remember the Miz. He was on the radio station, and he's like, "Well, the fans got to get behind him. If the fans get behind him, it's such bullshit. The game is so fucking rigged. It's depressing. I mean, if I was Sandow, how do you not just go to work and be absolutely depressed? I mean, the guy gets horrible gimmick after horrible gimmick, hits home run after home run, and then they're like, all right, we're going to give you something new. It's a horrible gimmick. Guess what? No, we give up in 2 weeks. It's just absolutely insane. I just wish they had a fair playing field. It's like being on American Idol. All right, who's playing music? Come on, gentlemen, let's be professional. All right.
I just had to turn off a call. I'm turning my volume. Sorry about that.
Sir, you got to work on podcasting radio. You got to turn off cell phones. Next, you're going to have 27 kids screaming about finding a Game Boy.
Awesome.
So unprofessional.
It's off. My bad.
There you go. This will be the last.
First one, guys. Sorry.
No problem. This will be the last thing we talk about because it seems to be the highlight of the show is eventually Brock Lesnar, and they built up to it pretty well. Eventually Brock Lesnar and Undertaker go one-on-one, and the whole roster, even Kevin Owens is out there, separating them. Did you notice John Cena and Orton weren't out there?
That's what I noticed. I did notice that.
Where was John Cena? Where was hardest working guy in the business?
They are above the law.
But besides that, this was very old school. it had a WCW feel to it. This was a go-to when two powerhouses went. I like it, and it gets people pumped up. The only problem that I have with this segment is that the people breaking it up look so weak. And that's why John Cena and Randy Orton don't go out there. Think about it. You're professional wrestlers and professional security guards. And you can't stop two men, even though they're absolutely giants. If you can't stop them from attacking each other, how does any of those 40 fucking men expect to beat any of those guys? But my favorite thing about this is there's always one indie wrestler who thinks he's a real security guard. And if you go back and watch, everyone is getting punched and the security guards are falling, except there's one guy on Brock Lesnar's back who fucking thinks he's part of the NYPD. He's just not letting go. There's always that one indie wrestler who takes it way too far. But overall, this reminded me of 80s, 90s wrestling. I think they went to this a lot in 80s, 90s wrestling, even with Stone Cold. And it gets people pumped up. Rassslin Rantin, did it get you pumped up? What were your thoughts?
Oh, this is by far probably the best segment. I guess this is one of the two good segments tonight. It's probably one of the best segments I've seen on Raw in a long time. You can start. I don't know if this is true or not because we're speculating, but okay. I think I'm beginning to see what parts of the show Triple H is booking and what parts of the show Vince and his people are booking. This looks like a Triple H segment all the way. It looks, like you said, it's old school. The guy's a student of the game. He came up like we did. He's our age. He came up watching the same stuff we did, watching NWA, watching Crockett, watching AWA. He knows that stuff, so he's bringing some of that stuff back. Came in his promo beforehand, loved it. He did repeat himself a couple times, but it was the perfect thing to make sense that Undertaker will come out because Heyman ran his mouth. Lesnar comes out, shits on. They're getting into a little bit of a weak ground and pound, but it was saved by the fact that the entire roster, except for 4 people, came out and separated the entire crew, and then the jumping and escaping and running back. And then the most notable thing for this whole thing for me that sold, well, 2 things actually. First, Michael Cole and JBL are like, we're getting the fuck out of here, so they get up and split from the announcer's booth. I thought that was a great touch, and you can hear Brock on the microphone say to Taker, "I will kill you," and Taker says, "You're going to have to." I think if there's a headline for this match, if this is Attitude Era, that's the byline for this match: Brock Lesnar versus the Undertaker.
That's on every hype video ever. If it was the Attitude Era, I wonder if they're still going to use it though, because it's such a great line.
They talked over it every time they did the replay. They talked over it.
So. All right. Next, Skye, what did you think of this? As I think it's safe to say all 3 of us agree this is a segment of the night.
Pretty much, yes. It was pretty freaking awesome. Like you said, pretty much saved by all the people coming out. I saw about like a solid 2 good convincing strikes in that brawl. The rest were pretty darn, not so bad as to like, Samoa Joe versus Kevin Owens levels the other week. That was freaking god awful. I was so embarrassed. But, it was whatever. Freaking just like the visual of like Brock like jumping out of the ring, going around, freaking getting him anyway, it's like really realistic. It made it look good. I liked it all. But like you said though, freaking the only downside was the fact that freaking, I don't know how many freaking guys were out there, but none of them could freaking stop this. It was ridiculous. When we went to commercial break, I remember thinking, like, how the hell are they going to come back from this? And it's just that still happening. I thought that was, like, a good way to freaking, come back. Thought that was a decent touch. Good segment. Awesome stuff.
Yeah, and one thing that I did, I'm kind of a negative nitpicker here, but one thing that I was positive about is I was worried Brock Lesnar was going to play the coward. Gotcha. And a lot of times in WWE, they're like, oh, you have to play a coward. Like one of the guys, it feels that way. Especially, it feels like, oh, you're a bad guy, you're a good guy. I like the fact that after this segment, they both felt like badasses. So I enjoyed that because I thought for sure Brock was going to play the coward in this story, and he didn't. So
well, I think going for more of that kind of Brock Lesnar having his history in UFC, they're kind of trying to book this more like a fight, like it's almost sort of shoot, sort of work. Like again, it's not a heel, it's not a face. two badasses, and they're gonna collide and they're gonna fight. And I'll tell you the best thing that this segment did. It made me interested and completely forgot about the snooze fest that was the match they had at WrestleMania 30 when the streak ended. Because everybody got all excited. I was like, well, let's not get too excited because remember the match that he broke the streak was probably one of the worst WrestleMania matches in recent history. So if it wasn't for the fact that Lesnar won, it would have been terrible.
Yeah.
All right. We're gonna go to some live comments. We'll come back to the matches. Bullet Club Biggs on Google Plus, appreciate it. Bullet Club Big says 2 Bella Twins, 1 Donald Trump, and I have my own theory about ISIS that I'll keep to myself. I'm glad you pulled out. I don't know if I should use this word, but I guess I'm reading everything. I'm glad you called out coonery going on at Rassslin Rantin. They're gonna take that sound clip in. There goes my writing career.
That's great.
All right.
That
On
is
Twitter,
great.
at _Jan_Brower liked and tweeted us. As always, we appreciate that. We're a smaller show, so stuff like that really does help. Andy Paps on Facebook says, "Sup guys, Raw was the NXT women's wrestlers put on a great show, and Taker and Brock has me hyped for SummerSlam. 1 bus ride to the Barclays Center." All right, so yeah, a lot of people from Brooklyn are be so happy with what's going on. I think in a week or 2, I don't know, but it's going to be amazing. All right, let's go to some live comments. Rassslin Rantin, if you've already read this one while I was panicking looking for a Game Boy, just say, we read that one.
I just read the first from Power Play.
All right.
That's it.
So Ewok from Endor says, from beginning to end, this show was bullshit. And he's already got 3 thumbs up. Rihanna Jackson, the queen of the internet infantry, says Solomon Crow, who was the Switchblade conspiracy with Dean Ambrose in Combat Zone Wrestling, Tyler Breeze, and Brad Maddox were a part of the security during the Lesnar-Undertaker fight. I didn't notice that, but that's kind of sad for them, considering they're under NXT contracts. Not that, but you're taking away indie jobs. Usually it's indie wrestlers that do that. Malik Douglas, I think it was a weak win or tie. The Taker-Lesnar stuff was good. I did actually watch the main event. So I didn't actually watch the main event, so I'll have to give it a win. Monday Night Raw, Taker kicked Lesnar in the nuts. Why doesn't anyone think he's the heel? I don't know. They both got heel things. Right now, I think they're blending who's the heel, but I think they all agree that we're the heels. Like, even with Rusev. Well, we'll get to that, but how is Rusev a heel? Besides having an accent, how is he a heel? And you'd be like, oh, the way he treats Lana. Look the way Dolph treats Lana. But we'll get to that in a future segment. Rihanna Jackson, older Taker is so old that he forgot that he was mad at Lesnar for 15 months. Yeah, he is old. But you know what? Age catches up with you. Age catches up with you. When it comes to looks and age, I don't think I can make fun of people. I'm like 98 years old and look like a bag of ass on YouTube. So I feel kind of guilty saying something for someone else.
Actually, it's worse. Dave's really only 21, and
well, hopefully I got that button disease where I get younger as I get older. All right. Is that a real thing, or is that just a movie? I don't know. Because it's mentioned in movies so much that you're like, is that real? But who knows?
I've never seen it. I've never seen it.
10 things mourning the burial of Owens edition. All right, so here's 10 things from Rage Against PG, and then we'll. All right, let's try to do this quickly. Taker kicked off the show with a promo. Taker's mad because Brock broke his streak. He tells Lesnar that he will rest in peace. Yada yada yada. If Raw continues like this, I'm going to be resting in peace for a second hour. Charlotte and Brie Bella had an awesome women's match, highlighted by Charlotte making Brie tap out. 3, primetime players lost to the Colognes. New Day interfered with the power of promos, and Titus O'Neil, who apparently hasn't seen 500 people fall for the same cookie-cutter distraction, took a backbreaker and got pinned. Yeah, the distraction thing, I think the distraction thing works if you do it once every 6 months. But it seems like they're distracted like every match.
Right.
You know what? If you want product placement, maybe what's the disease called? ADD.
ADD.
I think the WWE needs to get their wrestlers an ADD type product placement.
Bunch of Ritalin.
Yeah.
Give everybody a bunch of Ritalin, freaking commercials every 5 seconds, or Adderall.
And they probably pay a lot, too. They did this whole thing where they had the entire locker room come out to separate Brock and Taker, not Cena and Orton. Seeing the talent there have in the locker room made me wonder why Miz and Big Show would ever have a match on live television. Well, they're just company guys. They're company guys, and it's just life sucks, but that's how it is. And then he goes on to break it down even more, but maybe we'll save him breaking it down even more. We can't give out spoilers of our breakdown Rage Against PG. Lennox Wooderson says, Lost. This was the John Cena show featuring Brock Lesnar and Undertaker. I now see why Seth was built as a weak champion, just to boost Cena and his belt to the top of the company. Fuck John Cena and fuck WWE. Quincy C., this will be the last comment, and then we'll go back to breaking it down, but keep the comments coming because we're going to try to hit them up as many as we can. All right. Quincy C. says, wow, it's been months since I've watched live. Also, I haven't seen WWE's main roster since January. So big. Thanks for the show, guys. Hey, no problem. Appreciate you being a part of it. All right, let's go back to breaking this down. Rassslin Rantin, I gave you a Barry Horowitz earlier, but I want to stress that, you know, I picked on Roman Reigns, I picked on Bray Wyatt, but the match last night was amazing. And like when I saw how good the match was, the first thing I thought of was good for Rassslin Rantin. You know, you're Team Bray Wyatt from day one. You didn't turn your back on Bray Wyatt like I did. But Roman Reigns, I've really been busting his ass lately, and I think both matches this weekend, both matches by Roman Reigns for WWE, both were surprise matches of the night, including this one. Roman Reigns, Luke Harper. I was always Team Luke Harper, I assure you. But Roman Reigns, I'm always like, hey, man, bust your ass. Don't be like John Cena. And he seems to be going that way. I don't know if he's winning anyone else over. But winner by disqualification is Roman Reigns. And, you know, Bray Wyatt ringside, Luke Harper rebuilding it. I'm happy for Rassslin Rantin because that was your man. And the second thing is Roman Reigns, 2 nights in a row, surprise match of the night. Rassslin Rantin, what's your thoughts on the Luke Harper-Roman Reigns match?
Well, Harper's a good worker. He's already proven himself a couple of times and needs more exposure. I think the Wyatts being sort of back together is a good thing. Of course, Rowan's out with injury, so we're going to wait on that. Performance-wise, I do agree last night, too, the Bray Wyatt match with Roman Reigns and the match tonight with Luke Harper. He stepped up his game. He's trying a little bit better. I think certain guys on the roster, especially the ones we criticize the most, have been at least making an attempt. They're making an effort to improve their skills and improve their wrestling matches. So I definitely give it up to them on that. Storyline purposes, I don't know where this. I have a theory about where this is going, but I don't think they're bold enough. I would love to see Dean Ambrose go heel and join with the Wyatts, but that's just me.
And I just want to say something real quick about that. It's a possibility because Dean Ambrose sold the most merchandise, is forgotten about. Maybe this is the shot in the arm Dean Ambrose needs.
Yeah, he needs his lunatic thing. It just, as a face, it's handcuffed. And him as a heel being lunatic with somebody as nuts as Bray Wyatt and Luke Harper, I think could be magic. But I don't think. We go back to the start of the Reigns-Wyatt feud, which started out hot with him talking about Roman Reigns' kid and pictures like that. I was like, oh, they're going to go really dark with this. And it got watered down progressively as the weeks have gone on. So I don't think they're going to be in the business of doing anything that great. But overall, yeah, Roman's improving. Bray Wyatt, like I said, my new friend here, this is a running thing with Dave and I and the Internet Infantry. I never thought Bray Wyatt was buried. They always did. I said the guy's a great worker. He's a great character. He's going to bust out a good match here and there. So he's where he's going to be at. And
we have a channel rule that even when you're not here, we try to say Rassslin Rantin proudly presents Bray Wyatt. So yes. Even when you're not here, you're still here.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it.
No problem. We're trying to give you some love. All right, Scott, what did you think of Roman Reigns, Luke Harper, and the whole match?
That's funny. All right. Well, slightly guilty here. Didn't really watch too much of this match. I was doing something on my computer at the time. It is before I even knew I was gonna jump on this. But I was actually thinking about that whole thing with Dean about him possibly joining the Wyatt family. I was thinking that could possibly actually work out. Because it's really kind of the only thing they could even have for him at all, like to really pull any kind of twist. I wasn't aware of him actually outselling everyone in merch. That's pretty awesome, but sadly don't have too much.
And that's where Dean Ambrose drops off the map is the exact month that he sold more merchandise than John Cena. I'm not saying it's a coincidence. I'm saying go fuck yourself.
It's a coincidence. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, of course. Stuff like that happens all the time, dude. It's definitely rigged. I mean, you're not gonna get any argument out of me with that one, dude. Game's definitely rigged.
Next segment, I enjoyed this segment. I thought this was a sleeper segment. I enjoyed it a lot. Seth Rollins is backstage with Triple H, and I think Triple H's new version, or what he's morphed into, is a lot better than what he used to be. And Seth Rollins, it was after Brock and Undertaker left and just appeared. I think it adds so much to his character. I thought Triple H looking at him funny added so much to his character. So I was just so happy because I thought they were going to start off the show with Seth Rollins. But this was a great placement. And I usually don't give WWE many compliments because I'm an asshole. But I thought this segment was sleeper of the night. And Seth Rollins says, I'm going to the ring to cut a promo. Stephanie and Triple H are like, fine, whatever. They're a little sassy these days. And Rollins cuts this huge promo, which is a bit long, but it's kind of like, in my theory, the reason why it was so long and repeating is like, too many people like me. Like Seth Rollins went on Twitter blaming the internet and the fans for stuff, and I'm like, all right, I guess you're not heel enough. We'll have to boo you. So it feels like he cut a promo of saying, hey, look at here, blah, 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 blah. I'm really an asshole. Boo me. And that leads to all of our worst nightmares. I never thought this was coming. Rassslin Rantin on Twitter and maybe on his YouTube channel, he claimed that this was going to happen, and I just didn't believe it. I was like, no, Rassslin Rantin, there's not that much evil in the world. There's just not. I was like, you know what? We're making strides. The world is becoming a better place. You know what? I believe in a better tomorrow. I wanted to believe, Rassslin Rantin, but Rassslin Rantin's prediction was at SummerSlam, Rollins was going to take on John Cena. But it was so horrible. There's like no way can life lead this way. Dun 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 dun! Damn you, Rassslin Rantin! Dun 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 dun! I'm not even gonna lie. I am not gonna fucking lie. A part of me died. A part of me fucking died. Like I wanted to give up on life. First off, they basically stole Jay Lethal's Ring of Honor storyline. Second off, it's just like, no, you've crushed all hope. Like, how? How can you ruin stuff we love? And that's why I think we're the heels. I honestly think there are no more heel wrestlers. The heels are the fans. They just want to fuck with us forever and forever and forever. And like, it worked. And it's not even like, I've brought this up before, it's like being a prisoner or a POW guy. If you are locked up for a way, eventually you give up on life. Even animals, like you throw an animal in a zoo, it can't go back out to the wild. You throw a human in prison, solitary confinement, or POW, like that's their life now. They've lost all hope. That's how I felt as a pro wrestling fan. I was just like, dude, there's nothing. There's nothing for me. Absolutely nothing. And you get the, oh, please stop watching. I really want you guys to watch New Japan. I hope our New Japan views go up as much as this does. This is the closest I've ever been to being like, dude, there's no fucking hope left. There's absolutely no hope left. And not like, but then you get shit like, well, if you don't like John Cena, why do you talk about him so much? Because, let me answer that, because I didn't give a good enough answer. I love my wife, all right? And if a guy was fucking my wife, I would complain about that guy fucking my wife 24/7. I love pro wrestling, and John Cena is fucking pro wrestling. That's why I talk about him, all right? Imagine something you love, that guy, that girl, your wife, your husband, that candy bar. Ooh, Wonka bars are delicious. Whatever, dude, that's something you fucking love, and then some asshole just fucks it. Just fucks it. Of course you're going to talk about it and be angry, you fucking sons of bitches.
Yeah, you know, he just spilled.
I give up, dude. I give up. Watch Lucha Underground. Watch TNA. Please watch alternatives. I beggeth of you. Like, if I was rich enough, I would pay people to watch alternatives. I would just go around and be like, dude, no. Here, if you watch, like, dude, if I win the lottery, I promise you I'm doing this. I'm going to pay people randomly. I'm going to buy their New Japan Worlds, and I'm going to buy their cable, and I'm going to pay them $100 fucking to watch something else. For the love of God, please check out all their alternatives. I can't fucking do it. Oh, well, fucking no. No. I mean, even at the fucking pay-per-view last night, I was just like, oh, it's fucking John Cena winning. What the fuck are you going to do? All right. Have him compete against Orton. No, they fucking, no. Where are the fucking heels? Where are the goddamn heels? Think about it. What is every fucking douchebag indie wrestler? What is every WWE fan? What is every fucking one in the business do? They make fun of pro wrestling fans. Do you know why they make fun of pro wrestling fans? Because they're mentally fucking weak, and they are fucking embarrassed of what they do. And the third thing is, they have to fucking blame someone else. You can't blame the booker because you have to kiss his ass. You can't blame the promoter because you have to kiss his ass. You can't blame Vince McMahon because you have to kiss your ass. There's only one person you don't have to fucking kiss ass to, and that's the paying fan. Rassslin Rantin. Hot tag. I'm blown up.
Okay, so, yeah. So, well, to slowly piggyback or shortly piggyback off that, a lot of it has to do, and I was talking to some friends about this the other day, just the way media is now, it has a little bit to do with this too, because back in the day, older wrestling fans remember this when we were growing up, when you first heard about wrestling, whether it was through the AWA, WWF, NWA, whatever it was, and you went to the grocery store and you didn't have the internet, you saw magazines, and that was your only outlet, the dirt sheets or whatever, to pro wrestling, and you would go look at the magazine, and then you would read the magazines, and you'd see, oh, there's all these other wrestling promotions, and then you know about all these other wrestlers from different areas and different territories and stuff. You take an interest in it, and you go and seek it out. Today, not the same way. You don't have that interest in wrestling. You have an interest in WWE and sports entertainment as a product. So that's where the disconnect comes from, because we have plenty of alternatives. New Japan, you've got in America, you got Lucha Underground, you got Global, which is pretty much going to wind up being TNA anyway, or Impact, or whatever the hell they're going to call the whole thing, and Ring of Honor and Indies. There's lots of alternatives, and back in the day, people who watched WWE and then read a magazine or something would see these other territories and go, "Ooh, I want to check that out. I've heard of AJ Styles, I've heard of Samoa Joe, whatever." It doesn't happen anymore, and that's probably more of a problem than anything else, because at the end of the day, WWE can market whatever the hell it markets. If people don't take an interest in intellectual interest in other things, if they're not interested in wrestling and they're just interested in pyro and T-shirt sales and backstage bullshit, and that's what they're interested in, I mean, that's what you're going to get. So I don't know if the wrestling fan is a dying breed, but we'll see.
And I just want to add something to that real quick, sir. It's crazy because it's so easy now. Like, we had to write it. Like, if me and Rassslin Rantin, we're old. I don't know where Skye is. Skye's probably like, what the hell are you talking about? What is this magazine thing you're talking about? But, like, we're old. And, like, I remember we email, like, you're like, oh, you live in Minnesota? I live here. Let's switch tape. Not email, I'm sorry. We mail. They didn't even have email. We had real mail. And we had put so much effort into it. But now you have everything, and there just doesn't seem to be effort there.
Yeah.
Sure. No.
Yeah. Skye, what was your thoughts on this one?
On the whole Seth Rollins deal, or?
Yeah, Seth Rollins and dun dun dun. I
was gonna say this whole
inside.
I was gonna say this whole promo was really just a big long waste of time and a good excuse for Cena to come out and say, "Hey, this is the real title." burger, and that's about it. But I mean, as far as like Seth himself, what the heck did he talk about? Like how Brock freaking took him out, he did all by himself, and yada yada yada. I mean, I don't know, freaking, it didn't do too much for me, or maybe it's just something I didn't remember, which is a bad sign. So it didn't do too much for me apparently.
It fucking it stole my soul and fucking crushed it.
Seth is a skeezy champion, and I like him as a skeezy champion. He's starting to kind of separate himself because he seemed like an Edge wannabe for a while. He's kind of finding his own voice now as the skeezy champion, so it's okay. And yeah, I'm sorry to go back to Dave's original point. I did pick this, and I hate being right about shit like this, but as soon as Cena won the match last night and Lesnar didn't win the title, I thought, well, SummerSlam's coming up. If Brock's facing Taker, who's going to wrestle for the championship? Oh, fuck. Damn it, John Cena. So, yeah, it's
well, and the thing is about WWE, it's like, all right, when you had WCW and WWF, you know, it was like, okay, there's a battle of giants. But now it just seems like WWF really wants to ruin fucking pro wrestling. Like, they're going after Ring of Honor. Like, how in any way does Ring of Honor even touch you? It's just, it's insane. It's like it's got to the point where I really think we're the fucking heels. And the reason why I think we're the heels is, it's like, oh, you like Owens? We beat him. Oh, you like fucking Seth Rollins? We beat him. Oh, you like Ring of Honor? We're gonna beat him. You know, it's like, what do wrestling fans find joy in? Destroy that. You know how? Oh, holy shit! I figured it out. I figured it out, gentlemen. I know we don't talk about politics too much, but listen, if you think ISIS are the bad guys, let's just fucking pro wrestling fans join ISIS. Vince McMahon will stop ISIS in 10 fucking seconds. Why do you have to fucking fuck stuff I love? Why? All right, let's talk about maybe the match of the night. I think match of the night. I don't know. Tell me if I'm wrong. Paige and Becky Lynch versus Sasha Banks and Naomi. We busted Paige's balls a little bit. Context is not accurate on that one. But we busted Paige's balls a little bit, saying that she is the Tim Tebow bust of the Divas division. But she seemed to be hustling, and Naomi's good. All these women are excellent wrestlers, unlike the champion. I enjoyed this. Sasha Banks does get the win on Paige. Nice submission move. Sasha Banks and Naomi win. And I love everything about this except the Bellas. Am I an asshole for that? I thought this was match of the night. If you're only going to watch one match, I think this is it. And it's so crazy that we're talking about women's wrestling, not Divas wrestling, women's wrestling as being match of the night on multiple shows. Rassslin Rantin, your thoughts on this, and do you agree that it was maybe match of the night?
Oh, it was by far. Well, not by far, because again, Harper and Reigns was pretty damn good. But this was match of the night because it had a little bit more weight than that match. This was a very important match. It's very recent, and I was on another podcast a long time ago, right after WrestleMania, and I said this exact scenario is what they should do with the Divas division. You need to blow it up. Get a couple girls from NXT, merge them with a couple girls from the Divas division, and make a new Divas division. Lo and behold, that's what happens, and somebody, the naysayer said, oh, it doesn't matter because they'll just get up there and they'll just do the same thing and they'll be ruined and blah, blah, blah. And that is a concern, but tonight's match, that tag team match with these girls was pretty damn good, and you still see the hustle, you still see Sasha Banks being Sasha Banks. They've tweaked, I don't know if anybody else has noticed, but they've tweaked Becky Lynch's character, her look, and some of her moveset a little bit when she's come up to the main roster. But that's minor aside. The crowd was into this. The psychology of how Becky Lynch sold getting the tag to Paige is something I haven't seen in not even just Divas matches, but just the tag team WWE altogether. They don't make it so you want her to get that tag, and Becky she almost got it one time and missed it, and then when she finally got the hot tag to Paige, the crowd actually popped, and that's how you do it. That's how you work it. So these girls can work. They're doing a good job. They're putting on good matches. The future is bright for them, and as long as whoever's in charge of that division right now, in charge of the NXT women and the WWE women, they keep on that progress, Yeah, they're going to be just like they were in NXT. You're going to be more interested in seeing the Divas matches or the women's matches or whatever we're going to call them than you do most of the rest of the card. So
Yeah.
I think it's a big win, and it was an important match, that this match was a good match, so they could prove that once these NXT girls got to the main roster, they would not get watered down.
And Rassslin Rantin, you were 2 for 2 of being correct, so give yourself 2 Barry Horowitzes. You're leading the league in Barry Horowitzes tonight. And one thing that I don't know who the other podcaster is. I don't know if you want to throw him under the bus or not. But the other podcaster, one thing I didn't see coming, and maybe a lot of people didn't see it coming, and they definitely didn't see coming, was Stephanie wanting to be a feminist. Like, I think that's a huge piece of the puzzle, too. Skye, what was your thoughts on this?
Alrighty. Sorry, I'm moving around right now. My freaking battery's dying. Gotta go back over to the desk. I'll be dark again. Awesome freaking match. Definitely match of the night in my opinion as well. Freaking Paige turned it up. Basically, as you guys know, Brie, Nikki, though Nikki's getting better, very limited. A lot of people give Paige a really hard time, and I understand. But she, you're only as good as the worst guy in the group. You know what I mean? You're only as good as your dance partner. I mean, you even saw it earlier, Charlotte trying to carry Brie through like a watchable match. You know what I mean? I think she kind of did all right, but she didn't. She did great. She succeeded, but not very well. And that's kind of what Paige has been having to deal with this whole time. You know what I mean? Like, but at the same time, Charlotte I think is like slightly, like not as polished. Like Charlotte in a weird way, in a very weird way, is still. Like the slightest hint of green in the world you can find, but she can carry people through much better matches, I believe, than Paige can. I think Paige probably worked. I didn't really watch a lot of her stuff in England or whatever, UK, wherever the heck. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Well, she used to be a lot better. Like it's weird. There's something about Europeans and WWE that like Sheamus. Her, like they come here and we watch them in the UK and they're amazing. Even Grado a little bit. I mean, he's amazing in a different way. He's more entertainment. But these Europeans are amazing. I'm like, oh, I can't wait to see them. And then they come here and they bust their ass. But the higher up they go, they're like, we're a main eventer. We don't have to try anymore. I don't know. It's like an England thing, but it's interesting. All right, Europe. That's not fair. Just pick on
Yeah, I don't know if it's so much of them saying we made it, we don't have to try anymore, or if it's them saying like, or if it's WWE, making them tone down to like prevent injuries or whatever,
Yeah, because Umaga had that problem too. Umaga, fucking in a Japanese interview, just complained how fucking horrible it is to work for WWE.
Yeah, Umaga.
Yeah, Umaga. He used to be Jamal, and in All Japan, in All Japan. He was amazing. Like I've never seen anyone be that excited. He was an amazing athlete, and it bothers me that a lot of people don't see that. Amazing athlete, amazing entertainer, just was leading a faction. It was really interesting. And he came back as Umaga, and they were just like, you see how you do 976 moves in Japan? Now you're gonna do 2. And he was like, this fucking sucks.
You know what? That's sad, man. Because I thought that's very sad. Because I thought Umaga was amazing already. So I mean, if he was,
he was 10 times better, man.
I thought Umaga was great.
Yeah,
that's hilarious.
Rassslin did leave, and we start talking about Umaga. It always comes back to Umaga.
It's those dreads, man. We needed some dreads back in our brain. But yeah, dude. But the Divas, I thought did very well. Paige did her shit. Everyone did very well. Sasha, who I think is currently like probably the best diva. Or woman, I'm sorry. I'm just used to saying diva, goddammit, W programming. Sasha, I think, is like the best women's wrestler currently. She's doing great stuff.
She's amazing, but I'm also a big fan of Charlotte. I think Charlotte is the Kurt. I think I've said this before. I think Charlotte is the Kurt Angle of women's wrestling.
I can agree with that. Definitely. Just slightly more innovative.
Yeah, and not a lot, but she came up too quick. All right, next we'll go to some live comments because Rassslin Rantin keeps coming in and out. I don't know if he's in or out. But before we go to live comments, I just want to say Jack Gyllenhaal, is that how you pronounce it? He literally got a hand job from WWE. Like, they're selling out, and then there's putting fucking Jake's cock in your mouth. It was the most ridiculous product placement ever. I hope they're getting paid good for that. And I don't know, sometimes it scares me. All right, let's go to some live comments, and hopefully we can get Rassslin Rantin back for the end of the show. Bullet Club Big says, Sasha Banks and Naomi have baby mama potential. All right, there you go. That's what Bullet Club Bigs. Let's see. Facebook. Franielli says, cool picture that Rassslin Rantin has. I guess he likes your pause picture. You and someone flexing. Who's the other person flexing with you?
That is Ahmad Hassan, who some people should know is famously from DIY Network's show Yard Crashers. So we did a little pose.
Yard Crashers.
Sweet.
That sounds awesome.
All right, let's go through some live comments, and then we'll try to finish this up. Gentlemen, I know you are in American time, so if it gets too late after we review the last one, you can just tap out and plug your stuff before you go. All right? Bouncing Like Vaughn says, Lucha Underground has a trios title. Those 6-person tags matter. Being person because you have a woman like a.k.a. Release Sexy Ass. But to be honest, 6-man tags are okay. It gets a lot of superstars' attention. It makes matches be longer. I don't know. I think in Lucha does it right. I think all of Lucha, not just Lucha Underground. Dragon Gate does it right. And New Japan treats it as, we got to get people on the card. Here they are, and they're not going to be main event. Where I think WWE has a different. And not only that, but when you compare it to Lucha, 6-man tags, that was their jam. That is their jam down in Lucha. They absolutely love that. But when it comes to WWE, I have a feeling as of, we have to get these people on television. It doesn't matter. Do whatever you want. And they just don't respect it. But WWE doesn't respect a lot of things. And they abuse a lot of things. And one thing they don't respect and abuse is 6-man tags. Power play. Is this the one you read? Randy, Cena, Sheamus, Cena, and John Cena in the ring at the same time? No thanks. All we need is Roman Cena to push over the edge. I don't think that's the one you read. Power play. I don't know what's going on. I think that's Power play just losing his mind. Randy, Cena, Sheamus, Cena. We read all the comments, even the ones. I am Mikey. Mike Ashman says, dope panel tonight. Loving this flow of open discussion, amigos. Appreciate it. Taker bringing up Lesnar was my highlight pretty much. Shake my head. It's clear WWE is still in doubt on the direction of the company. And Rassslin Rantin mentioned that earlier. If they are really going to position Fuckboy Cena for another reign.
Fuckboy Buckethead. That's one of his famous internet names. I love it.
Good
old Bruce Splits, man. Good old Bruce Splits. His name
yeah, Rassslin Rantin doesn't have the Bruce Splits love that some share.
I understand, dude. I understand.
Let's go across the board.
I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry, man.
Let's go percentage-wise. Percentage-wise, John Cena wins the title at SummerSlam. I'm going 90%. What would you say? If you were Vegas or Atlantic City, Rassslin Rantin, what percentage would you give? A fair percentage that John Cena walks out with both titles.
I don't think he's walking out with the world title because I think they're still holding on to that Roman Reigns thing, and I predict Reigns is going to win it come Survivor Series. I see this being the only reason Cena's in this match is because again SummerSlam is the second biggest pay-per-view of the year. They want to get their biggest stars on the marquee matches, so that's why Cena's got the main event world title match. Because Lesnar is going to be taking on Taker. That's the only reason he's in this match. I don't see him winning the title.
And you've been hitting a lot of home runs, so I hope you're right. I don't know if you follow TNA, but do you feel like they're going an EC3 type route with Seth?
Well, no, because EC3 is more talented. No, sorry, Seth Rollins.
Oh man, that's gonna hurt some people. That you just split the audience like this. Some people are carrying you off like a champion, and some people are throwing toilet paper at you.
Well, seriously, EC3 is so. I mean, if we had
He's amazing,
if we had our year in awards now, EC3 would get the most improved wrestler of the year. He's come so far. And his title reign is a lot more interesting than Seth Rollins is. And I haven't watched that much Impact Wrestling because, they're probably my 5th favorite wrestling organization. But even just a little bit I watch, I much more enjoy EC3 over Seth Rollins right now. So, yeah.
All right. And Jim Brower. Oh, wait, your percentage. Skye, sorry about that.
Oh no, you're fine. Whatever. That Cena walks away. I think the percentage that Cena wins the match is higher than him walking away.
So you think it's shenanigans?
Yeah, if he wins, I think Sheamus comes in and cashes in immediately and takes it. That's the only way I can really see it going anywhere, because then, if Sheamus has a title, he's, slightly more relevant than he's been for the past, 2, 3, 4 freaking years. And Cena has a good chase that he can go on, so he can actually be watchable. You gotta figure Triple H listens to like some people on the internet who freaking, complain about Cena not being a face because he has no freaking obstacles. He has nothing to freaking try to climb. I hate to say things that you say all the time because I'm talking to you right now, but Cena's literally the obstacle. There's nothing the guy can't freaking do except right now beat Brock Lesnar, and they even made it so that he could probably do that if he really put his mind to it. So, that's the only thing that makes sense to me to make anything like progress with either of those two. I really can't see any other situation to where Sheamus would be open to, do so unless there was another match later on down the line where Cena had the title for a little bit, yada yada yada. But I also don't see them giving him the title again. I don't think Triple H is gonna let him, hit a Flair streak. Not sure. Or Flair's, number.
No, they're going to do that. They're going to do that just for the marquee value of Cena's going to break Flair's streak. That's going to happen.
Yeah, it's going to happen. I don't think it's going to happen now.
Yeah, it's not going to happen now. It's just a question of when. Is it going to be at WrestleMania in Dallas? Possibility, but that's going to happen.
All right. For people that are PC and get offended, please do not listen to this next comment. I was just laughing while you were talking. They're talking about Skye's comment. We're not going to use his full name because it's on Facebook, and people are weird about offensive things. They say John Cena winning the title at SummerSlam is like being raped in the ass, and then Sheamus cashing in is like when it's over. He's like, oh, now my friend gets you too. Very, very disgusting, and but I was laughing the whole time.
That's fucking great. That is great.
All right, Jan Brower says, I'm sorry, but the Brawl segment and the fact that Undertaker showed up twice is enough for me to give this show a win. Also, Canaanites unite. All right, well, I'm sure if you're pro Undertaker, yeah, this was great for you. LB Clash of Kings says, I give Raw a loss. Why is Taker facing Brock at SummerSlam and not Sting? I think they're going to save that for WrestleMania. That's just my thoughts. That makes more sense. Brie Bella, why is she still there? I would have ordered Alicia or Naomi versus Charlotte instead. Bellas wouldn't be where they're at if they didn't sleep their way to the top. And new cast on KocoSports team, welcome. All right, so
thank you.
They're welcoming you to things. See, you never know with the KocoSports crew. We're like ECW Arena. Sometimes they'll chase you out.
Right,
this will be the last live comment we do until we're done the actual review, and then we'll try to hit all the live comments. So keep them coming in. Rage Against PG. Things that are better than Cena's promos tonight. All right, let's see. One, oatmeal raisin cookies that look like chocolate chip cookies. 2, Crazy Steve's in-ring work. 3, I can't read that word, dude. I am way too punch drunk to read that fucking word.
Spell it.
4, yes, I am a published author. I'm like, that's a big word. We're just gonna skip over that one. By the way, all 3 of us published writers. Yeah.
Hilarious.
The writing industry just went bankrupt. 4, SpongeBob Minecraft, the YouTube video. I've never seen it, but my son loves Minecraft, so maybe I'll have to check it out. 5, Michael Cole's shoes. 6, people who put sugar in salt shakers. I didn't know that was a thing. 7, the Spirit Squad. 8, the Wiggles' first LP. Dude, the Wiggles were such a big thing when my kids were in America. Oh, God, man, we saw the Wiggles in concert like 3 or 4 times live. We had all their CDs. I used to have their songs memorized. Lights,
Seeing the
camera,
freestyle.
action, wiggles, or something like that. I forget now because it's been a while. My kids have grown up and now are listening.
Now
to
you're
K-pop.
out of my time.
Yeah. He's like, Wiggles, I can break down the Wiggles.
Yeah, no, now you're out of my time now. I knew where you were with, all that other stuff earlier. Wiggles, nope, nothing.
Okay, yeah, the Wiggles were really big in the Koco household a couple years ago.
Gotcha.
People who think I'm actually going to listen to their mixtape, ouch. It's,
These are so good. Who is this guy? He's the man. Keep going, I'm sorry.
it's Rage Against PG. And
Of course! It's like my favorite commenter. He's the man. Go ahead.
Vince's Kiss My Ass segments. JB Archive Hog, or Active Hog. We'll just call you Del Jr. because I can't read it. You'll be the next when we come back up, but keep the live comments coming. Let's finish this off. They show a segment of Dolph Ziggler being the worst boyfriend ever, and that leads to Rusev walking in with, who is it, Summer Rae? I get all the divas confused. Is Summer Rae Lana Jr. now? No one's
pretty
correcting me,
much.
so we're just going to say
Pretty
Summer Rae. All right, I didn't want to call it the wrong diva. Summer Rae is dressed up like Lana. It gets creepy. I love the Rusev character, and he kisses Lana Jr. while looking at Lana, and then talks shit and says she was looking old and tired. I was like, man, you can't tell a woman she looks old and tired. Come on, be a chill, Rusev. And
so
Lana
funny.
Jr. slaps the piss out of Lana Sr. But overall, that leads up to the main event, which is Cesaro, Randy Orton, and John Cena versus... What are you doing? Hold on, I got Invage. Rassslin Rantin, hot
boy.
tag.
I'll take it over. Versus Rusev. What else we had in there? We had Rusev, the Money in the Bank winner Sheamus, and the aforementioned Kevin Owens, who I want everybody on the internet to start saying he's buried. It's only fair. It's only fair. You have to say he's buried and start getting on me about this Bray Wyatt thing. It has now left Bray Wyatt. John Cena has now buried Kevin Owens. So let's start that train right now. Anyway, so this match took place. There were some interesting spots in here, but it didn't flow really well. The long and short of the match is that Sheamus accidentally gets hit by Kevin Owens. He falls off the apron. Sheamus starts crying like a little bitch. Yo, hit me, fella. You hit me. What was that? I'm getting out of here. So he gets out and runs out like a bitch. Crowd chants him, you stupid, because he does look stupid. Bebop or Rocksteady, whoever he's playing in the movie. Owens gets in there with Rusev. Rusev is a little bit hurt outside the ring, doesn't take the tag. Owens gets pissed off at Rusev. Rusev finally gets back up in the apron. Owens slaps him in his leg. Come on, get in here, stupid. And then Rusev and him get into it. He super kicks Rusev and then quits. Cena says something stupid to Owens, and Owens leaves the ring, leaving Rusev by himself. And you can pretty much figure out what goes on from there. This was, like Dave said, I'm not so hard on six-man tag team matches. Some of my favorite matches from the 80s were six-man tag team matches, especially, world-class Von Erichs and the Freebirds. This is not Von Erichs and the Freebirds by any stretch of the imagination. So, yes, this was a complete waste of time. I didn't even watch the very end of the show, so you guys have to fill me in on what happened, because I kind of checked out once Rusev was by himself.
Well,
Yeah,
pretty
well,
much.
basically, Rusev is a three. Rusev, I'll hot tag. Hot tag back. Rusev is basically the heel, and he decides to fight 3-on-1, boo him, like he's coming all over all odds, but he still loses. They all hit their finishers, and Randy Orton, Cesaro, and John Cena win, and then basically that's it. And, I'm sorry, Lana comes out and he gets in a cat fight with Lana Jr., Summer Rae, and she slaps... I don't know if she slaps him. I like to say, I think she slapped him. I don't know if that's factual. But she distracts Rusev, and Rusev gets hit with every finisher under the book, and Randy Orton, Cesaro, and John Cena celebrate.
No. I don't believe there was any slapping going on. I think she just came out, did a thing with Summer real fast, and kind of stormed off.
Yeah, I think you're right. For some reason, as soon as I said she slapped him, I'm like, I don't think that's how it went down, Dave.
I believe she slapped Summer. That's about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think the one thing that saved this match with me, I'm into those, and I found it funny you said earlier, about conspiracy theories. I'm into them. It's always fun. So a lot of entertainment, of course, is made off of like, mythological stories, and a lot of like conspiracy theories are made off of those as well. So I kind of thought it was cool that this was kind of like Cesaro's like, coming in party. You know what I mean? It was kind of like his ritual. Like basically Rusev was their sacrifice. He was there to take the fall and get his ass beat, and there for freaking Cesaro to be standing in the ring with, the number 1 and 2 of the company. So they're kind of saying, hey, this might be the new guy. Cena loves him. And when Cena loves you, Nikki Bella, you know what I mean? Cena loves you, you're in there. So, who knows what this whole thing was about, you know what I mean? But I definitely think it could have been to that extent. And I also liked how Kevin Owens kind of just healed Rusev being the only one in the match by the time it was over, because, Kevin kind of started this whole thing just by being a big asshole, you know what I mean? So, like, that's kind of how Rusev ended up being there by himself. So, I don't know. I like how it all came together. I like how everything just kind of meshed. I think it went all right. You know what I mean? The match itself was meh. It was whatever. But, and of course, they're going to do that as well, because they're trying to keep everybody to stay on to the end of the hour. So, of course, you're going to hold, like, all the really, decent stuff to, like, the very end. Like Cesaro wasn't in the match too much until, he had to take the hot tag heat and all that good stuff. They want to keep everything, good. So, structure, it's sad. It's bad business, really, at the end of the day, but they got to keep those ads happy. So,
Yeah, I'm thinking
it interferes.
Yeah, I'm kind of wondering, putting on my magical Booker hat again, I'm wondering if they're trying to get towards a Cesaro-Kevin Owens match at SummerSlam. That's a possibility, because you assume Rusev's going to be taking on Ziggler. But my question for everybody on the panel is, do we think Kevin Owens is even going to stay on the main roster? Because what really does he have to do? They've already announced that he's going to be challenging Finn Balor for the NXT Championship at the next NXT takeover before SummerSlam. We've also got, of course, Samoa Joe still gunning for him, and then when Sami Zayn comes back at the end of the year, there's still a lot for Owens to do in NXT. Or do we think he's going to stay on the main roster?
I think no. I mean, what's the point? You know what I mean? I made fun of Bray Wyatt for this, but even though I love Kevin Owens, what's the fucking point? No, just send him back to NXT. It's fucking over. You know what I mean? It's just, there was no point. What's he gonna do? I mean, and not only that, but like they changed his character so bad. It's just like, all right, whatever, dude. Because he went from like a badass voice of the people to, oh, I'm scared of everything, or I'm a bitch about everything, and it's just, once again, it's WWE just hating on fans. So, you know what? I'd rather have him in NXT having great matches than be up on WWE fucking, basically putting over fucking fake-ass bodybuilders. It's beyond depressing. I'm pretty negative about this match. I thought it was complete garbage, but there is some positives. And the one positive I liked about it was the John Cena Randy Orton when Sheamus and when the other team was breaking down. Like, Randy Orton was getting in the match, and John Cena's like, no. And I thought that was cool because they don't have that often. A lot of times, especially WWE, the two opponents are beating the shit out of each other, and then the opponents jump in. And I thought, like, it's a little detail, but it's like, why wouldn't people do that more often? It's like, I hate these two guys. They're fighting. Oh, let me get into the fight. And I just thought, even though I hate Orton and Cena, I thought that segment and the outside type thing was hilarious. I was just like,
whoa, wait a minute. You just said something positive about John Cena and Randy Orton. Is it cold over there? Has hell frozen over? You said something positive
for the pigs.
Orton and John Cena? Boom.
In the same breath, no less.
Hey, dude, I had to throw in a bone because basically, I don't know. Maybe I've been defeated. But I'm just saying that outside segment was pretty funny. The rest was absolute garbage.
It was.
Especially when Cesaro was the one that had to give the hot tag. I thought it was bullshit. And so overall I just thought it was kind of stupid. But at the same time, they did tell a lot of stories. But I'm still giving it a huge loss because it crushed my fucking soul as far as hope goes. And I don't know about you, but I'm just not feeling SummerSlam anymore. Like I'm not a big Undertaker fan, so he's the big selling point, and I understand he brings happiness to everyone, so I'm not going to knock him. But like it's John Cena versus Seth. It's like I don't like. It's got to the point now where like my hatred for John Cena. Let's get back on track here. My hatred for John Cena. Like even if John Cena loses, I don't want to even be a part of it. Like winning or losing. Like it's got to that point. Like my hatred went from oh man, I hope he loses to I just don't want to see you anymore. All right, let's do some live comments, gentlemen. Just tell me when you got to tap out because I know you guys got real jobs and it's crazy. Crazy time.
Well, I did want to interject real fast, if you guys don't mind. I just want to go ahead and say I'm not sure what's going to happen with Kevin Owens as far as where he's going, but they always could like send him down to NXT until Sammy gets better, hold him off, and then he has something to do on the main roster. So, all right, go ahead.
Yeah, that's all I was going to say. I wanted to hear what he had to say about Owens.
All right, yeah.
That's all I got. That's all I got.
All right, cool deal. Rassslin Rantin, you got anything to add?
No, that's what I said. That's what I was going to say. I wanted to hear what Skye had to say about Owens.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I apologize for cutting you off. All right, let's go. Let's go to some live comments. Bullet Club Big says the main event was cool. The overall show was straight. I try not to hold WWE such a lofty standard. It probably helps. Like, and that's the thing. WWE for years have been lowering standards. WWE lowering standards since the 90s.
Okay, I will take issue with that because I have to, and I'm going to be a WWE defender right now. I will give them credit. Since May, BCE show, the series with Owens and Cena before the shitty ending last night, bringing up the NXT Divas, the matches with Cesaro and Cena, even fucking last week Rusev busted out a really fucking last week. They've been getting progressively better. But like I said to Dave last night on Twitter, we got to this point, and then Cena beat Owens, and I'm like, fuck, we just went 10 steps. And he's going to be in the main event of SummerSlam. We just went completely. All the gains they've made over the last 3 months just got wiped out.
I think that's just there to make it all that much better when Cena finally loses that darn belt. You know what I mean? I think that's what Kevin was there for, just to get us all just, hope is lost, whatever, and then before we know it, lost, and we're all going to be ecstatic. And whoever wins that freaking belt is hopefully going to be a made man and can freaking have some awesome-ass matches with that belt around his waist, because if not, it really did nothing. It was just a bunch of wasted time with Cena as the U.S. champion.
Yeah, but history shows they can't tell a long story. Like
That's
all these
true.
people, WWE defenders, like, oh, what about the Daniel Bryan story? Yeah, go back, read Daniel Bryan's book, go back and see the fucking interviews they've done with it. That was literally thrown together last second. So like, it's the whole, oh my God, they're working you, and it's like, no, listen, Lucha Underground works me, New Japan works me, David Copperfield works me. Marvel from time to time works me. But here's the difference between those brands and yours. I enjoy the fucking process! That's the difference! That is the fucking difference!
Yeah, people do not hate Robert Downey Jr. as Ant-Man. And by the way, see Ant-Man. It's an awesome movie.
I have to. I saw your reviews.
Yeah, it's awesome. But people don't hate, like Okada. People don't hate Okada. People don't hate Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man. All of those examples you gave, people actually like the flagship person. WWE's got this weird thing that they think this Cena thing is okay to have your flagship guy be hated by 65% of your audience. Not a good business, man. And the ratings and the live attendance show. NXT is doing the same amount of numbers as that the WWE live shows is doing. That should tell you something.
Is that true?
When it comes to house shows, yes.
House shows.
Oh,
house
unbelievable.
shows.
That's nuts.
Yeah, they're pulling in 4,500, 5,000 people, and the WWE house shows are pulling about that much.
That's nuts.
So, but in that defense, they like within the last couple of years they've had some really shitty NXT Florida house shows. But yeah, basically, the NXT's recent shows where they put effort into it. NXT, when they put effort into it, surpasses WWE's house shows.
Fair enough.
All right. Bullet Club Bigs, the main event. Oh, we already read that. Bullet Club Big. Send Owens back to NXT so he can feud with Baylor, Zayn, and Joe. And I think that's what's going to happen. Or he's just going to work. And not only that, but if he works both shows, that's awesome for Owens. But is it really? NXT is a monster. WWE is a joke. You know what I mean? So, all right. Twitter's being quiet.
But I know what you mean.
Twitter was exploding on a G1, but tonight. Rob gave us an idea. I'll say that's a good idea. Sorry. And Andy Paps is starting an EC3 channel on Facebook. And JB says, I believe that they can definitely use the Undertaker and Brock Lesnar angle very well if they could take Undertaker as a heel seriously and make the minds of the fans think, should I boo Undertaker or should I cheer him like we did CM Punk? Honestly, I have a little bit of hope for this change. It's something that I expected a long time ago, like SummerSlam long ago, but I see that they can really use this well for us. Only if they could do it perfectly in line. At least that is what I think. Nice stream so far, guys. Appreciate it. I think the names are so big. I know this is going to sound better. I think the names of Undertaker, Brock Lesnar are so big, story isn't going to matter. I think they built up their reputation either from stuff they did like in the UFC or just the streak or you know what I mean. I think I don't think story matters. I think it's guaranteed pay-per-view buys, and that's why they did it.
Yeah, and I think on a subliminal level, if you don't mind me chiming in, I think on a subliminal level, it's probably more of their task now to give us a good match, to kind of like try to sweep that last match under the rug. You know what I mean? I kind of think that's like the new actual purpose. They can like try to like salt and pepper it up with a story if they really want to, but I think what the internet fans, as they love to call us, is really looking for right now is to see if they can still have a good match, because that's all we were missing out of the last thing. I mean, the story wasn't that great at all in the last one either. It wasn't really all that good, I can even say. But at least it told us something, but then the match just completely shit the bed. So I really do think that's all we're kind of waiting for.
Yeah, but there's athletes where you don't even really need a story, like Flair, Dusty, Hogan, Warrior, Okada, Tanahashi in Japan, Guerrero, Mysterio. There's people, Jerry Lynn, RVD. You're like, no, I'm going to fucking pay for this no matter what. And I think Taker Brock has that with a lot of people.
Yeah, but I think, again, keep in mind that SummerSlam, like I said before, is the second biggest pay-per-view of the year. They're booking this for money. They're booking this because here we want to. Us, you said they do things for internet fans or for what I just call them pro wrestling fans. People who actually like pro wrestling. We don't really matter to shows like WrestleMania and SummerSlam and stuff like that. Our time kind of passed. We had June, we had Elimination Chamber and those pay-per-views, Beast in the East. Now they're focusing on the general audience. Who are the names that I can bring in? Oh, people still remember The Undertaker. UFC people still remember Brock Lesnar. Everybody knows John Cena. Those are the names we're going to put at the top of the card, and we're going to draw money in. I will say, though, for SummerSlam, for those of us who like pro wrestling, in particular Dave, I wouldn't look for the main event. I would look for the undercard. I would look for Cesaro and Kevin Owens, if that actually happens. Whatever they wind up doing with the women's, because I think that'll be interesting. They do all 9 of them in a whatever match. I think that'll be cool. And maybe some other matches in the undercard. I think that's where the meat of SummerSlam is going to be. The main event matches are there just to get eyeballs and subscriptions.
Yeah.
All right. Power Play says the Taker Lesnar thing was good, but the longer it went on, the more and more I could see Taker's age. He has to rest every 2 minutes now. I don't feel angry about the pauses. I feel bad that Undertaker has to do this crap at his age. And I don't think he has to. I think it's maybe there was maybe a little pressure from Vince and WWE, but I think he's like, I can maybe do one more. I think he's at that age where he's like, I can do one more. I can do one more. But yeah, he's not a young pigeon anymore. Goody Nation Entertainment, friends of ours, says was good. So check them out. I know they do Raw reviews too, and they also do a lot of pro wrestling stuff. Plus, they have some sexy ladies. Sexy ladies in wrestling reviews? AC Dub Rims 24! is Charlotte and the rest of the NXT Women's Wrestling going to let WWE call them divas, or do they just not care? I think they care. It's just it's a job. You know what I mean? Like, I think it's one of those. All right, I guess I have to be called a diva. But you ever notice they don't drop the diva tag on them very often?
True. I did notice that. Yes, they barely ever, which is fine with me. Thank God. Good stuff. Because I'm getting tired of that word. Honestly, I hate it. I hate it.
All right, LB Clash of Kings has a fact or fiction, so we'll go across the board here, all right? The order will be, I'll read it, Rassslin Rantin will give his, Skye will give his, and then I'll end it and read the next one, all right?
All right.
All right, fact or fiction. Brock will put over at least 2 people by the end of 2015 before John Cena.
Yeah, that's
fiction. I can only see it. He's going to put over Taker at SummerSlam. And I don't think it'd be I don't think he would want to, and I don't think it'd be a good idea for him to put over anybody else before going to WrestleMania 32, where you would theorize that he's going to win the belt then.
Okay, Skye, fact or fiction?
Fiction. I like it all goes back to last year. You know, I can't imagine them just throwing away the streak like that. You know what I mean? You kind of got to make it mean something. And the only way to make it mean anything is to have him pretty much be at least solid until it's time to freaking, you know, pass that on, or it's time to, like, go ahead and push the next guy. So if he wants to blow his load this early, it would be the hugest waste of time and the biggest waste of money. So I just don't see that happening. So fiction.
All right, I put at least 2 people over 2015. 2 people over. He's definitely going to put Undertaker over, and maybe put someone over at WrestleMania. And WrestleMania is 2015. I'm going to say fact. I'm going the opposite way. I think he puts over Undertaker at SummerSlam, and I think he puts someone over at Mania. I could be wrong. I've been wrong before.
Next year, so he said end of this year. Mania
is WrestleMania 2016 officially?
Yeah, we already had WrestleMania this year.
I'm an idiot. I take it back. I am a moron. I say fiction.
Here's the calendar. There are 12 months in a year, and the year ends in December.
That's how that works. Thanks.
He meant this fiscal year. He meant the fiscal year. Let's give him a bone.
No, I'm just an idiot. Thanks for trying to cover for me. Hashtag Diva Revolution will be the hashtag Give Divas a Chance move that will phase out after a few weeks. Ooh, this is tough. Will it phase out? Rassslin Rantin, fact or fiction? Hashtag Divas Revolution phases out.
God, again, I don't know. If I knew who was writing what behind the scenes, if Triple H is in charge of it, it's not going to fizzle out. If any of the NXT people are working with it right now on the main roster, no. My gut, though, says probably 6 months. The Divas will fizzle out, and so will Neville's. To throw that in there too. So will Neville's push.
Wait, was Neville's push one of the? Was that part of the question, or was that just an add-in?
Fact or fiction?
Oh, okay. Okay. All right. Okay. Yeah. Do I think that'll fizzle out soon? I don't think it'll fizzle out that soon, or at least I'm hoping not. I don't really see it fizzling out because I don't see any of these girls trying to get lazy and stop trying, really. You know what I mean? And it's really up to them, even if they only have, like, 2 minutes a night. Like, you know what I mean? It's still up to them to, like, kind of go out there and kick ass. So, if anything...
Not so fast, my fellow friend! I'm going to have to Lee Corso the rookie here. I think it all depends on Stephanie McMahon. I think it has nothing to do with the actual women. You're getting Lee Corso, sir. That was your first Lee Corso. Welcome to... Now you're officially on the team.
Well, I mean, that would be true.
One diva, no one changes this. If one diva tweets out that they get paid less. If one diva does an AJ Lee, then it all comes crumbling down. But as long as all the divas / women wrestlers know this is to get Stephanie McMahon to feel like a feminist and they play along, I don't think it phases out. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, sir. Go ahead.
No, that's fine. That's fine. The only reason I say that, though, is because, like, no matter what, you know, like, CM Punk, you know, some people like that didn't always do exactly what they were told to do regardless. So, I mean, it's still up to them to at least get over and to let this movement work. If they, you know, if Stephanie decides to sabotage it, I guess, it sounds like, you know, you're thinking it could happen. It's up to them to not let her sabotage it. But it can phase out, or phase out. I don't think it will, though. I think it'll be straight.
As long as they keep kissing Stephanie's ass, they'll be fine. As
Fair
soon
enough.
as one of them speaks up in an interview, forget it, it's over. 3, Naomi or NXT girls will take the title off Nikki Bella before Nikki beats AJ Lee's record. Now, this is a big question. This is kind of the interesting thing about this. Rassslin Rantin, what do you think?
Yeah, I brought this up earlier and said that that's going to be the crux of this whole feud. It's going to culminate right, and I don't know, again, if anybody in Internet Infantry could do the math of when Nikki will hit 295 days. But whatever show is right before that, that's going to be the big show. Who I would say Charlotte, because they really were putting her over tonight. It might come down to Charlotte and Nikki, and I can only hope that Charlotte would do that and defeat Nikki to at least keep her from. They may later let her get to number 1 and then have Nikki beat or have Charlotte beat her. Same way they did AJ Lee. AJ, she hit that mark, and then the very next night, what's her face? Paige beat her. So I can see that happening.
All right. Fact or fiction?
So I'm gonna say fact because what's funny is I kind of was along that a very similar path with that. I was thinking probably the show beforehand, Charlotte was gonna beat her for it, and then pretty much have the crowd just kind of pop. You know what I mean? Just go ahead and pop the crowd because everyone's gonna be sitting there thinking, like, holy crap, like is she really gonna do this? Really gonna do this? And then maybe, just maybe, we have that one glimmer of hope that it's not gonna be her. You know what I mean? Because if it is, then now we're gonna have to wait for someone else to be her record. And if that's all the internet's going to wait for, and it's probably not going to happen, that'll be a bad spot for WWE to put themselves in. You wouldn't think it's a huge deal because it's more of a subliminal thing. But if someone's on the inside a little unhappy with certain things that happen like that, that can give you some negative, kind of repercussions. So I think they'll be smart, and I think they're going to hold us on the edge of our seats until that very last day. Kind of like you said, I think Charlotte's bringing it home for it. So yeah. So
well, I agree. I think it's going to come down to the last few seconds, but I disagree. I think fiction. I think the crowd is going to be absolutely hot. I think people are going to be rooting for Charlotte, but I think they give her AJ Lee's record out of spite. So, yeah. But I think we all agree that the countdown, when there's only a few days left, that's going to be an amazing atmosphere. So,
it is. It's going to be big for Nikki, honestly, man. As much as I hate to say it, that's going to honestly be all the spotlight's kind of on Nikki at that point. You know what I mean? Like the negatives, the positive about her, everything. It's all on Nikki. So if anything, this is going to make or break her whole career, I think, how well this gets pulled off.
Possibly so, but I also kind of see it like Hogan's WCW reign with the NWO, because Hogan was not a good wrestler. You were just dying for somebody to take that damn belt off of him. Whether it was Luger or Goldberg or Sting, it was more of a big moment for Luger, Goldberg, and Sting when they won to establish themselves as finally being on that level with Hogan. I think that's the same thing with Charlotte or Sasha. I actually would probably think Sasha Banks. Unification, NXT Divas Women's Championship and Divas title. I would love that. If it became that would be a good booking move. But Sasha Banks in a unification match, I probably wouldn't be, but a champion versus champion match against Nikki and have Sasha go over. I think that's actually genius. And if you don't mind, I'm going to add to that and say that would be awesome because that would be the true revolution. That would be like, Divas finally out. You know what I mean? It's the WWE Women's title again. You know what I mean? It
wouldn't be as insulting. The only thing about the unification thing that bothers me is she's not carrying around the NXT women's belt with her on television. If there was a plan to unify the titles, she would be carrying the title with her.
Well, hopefully it'll be some new kick-ass title. I'm sorry, go ahead.
She didn't have it tonight because she carried it last week. She had it.
I don't think so. Yeah. I could be wrong. I am very punch drunk, and I think Lana slapped it. I don't think she's ever had the belt on WWE Raw television.
She had it last week because she held it up in front of everybody. I don't know about tonight.
Yeah, when she made her debut, she did not have it. Not on her debut, but she did have it. I think the last time she was on television. Yes, I remember her holding it up. But yeah, did not have it in her debut.
So we're all wrong.
Well, because I remember the first day she came in, I was like, "Where in the world is her belt?" I was bugging out, where is it? Who's probably taking a dump on it right now? Where the hell's her belt? But it was probably a call from management. They probably just told her, don't have it.
I caught that. I caught that.
I think AJ Lee's record gets broken. I just think that they put their ego over the product every fucking day.
Every time.
The 3 NXT talents, this is all from LB Clash of Kings. Thank you for the great questions. The 3 NXT talents will be buried by Cena when they get called up. Samoa Joe, Kenta, and Finn Balor. Samoa Joe is a lock. That motherfucker better be practicing his goddamn AAs fucking over and over in NXT. Samoa Joe probably is fucking jobbing out to Cena right now across the nation in fucking house shows. But as far as the other 3, facts. Joe, Kenta, and Finn Balor all get buried. He used the word buried, but we'll say defeated. All get defeated.
All get ranked under John Cena.
All right. Rassslin Rantin, this is a tough one. Joe, Kenta, Balor.
Samoa Joe definitely, because he's from TNA. They're going to humiliate him in that way.
Ring of Honor.
And Ring of Honor. So they're going to just say, our guys are better than, this is what they used to do with the WCW guys. Kenta and Prince Devitt, Finn Balor and Hideo Itami. I don't think that Itami, and I hate to say this, is even going to get to the level that he would have a match with Cena unless it was in Japan. Balor, possibly, but he'd have to be heel, and that would take a long time, because when Balor comes up, he's going to have a lot of momentum. The kids are going to love him. They already love him with the face paint and everything. They'd have to turn him heel. He'd have to be established as a heel, so you're a long way away from that. And Cena's not getting younger. So the good thing about all this is Cena's getting older, so eventually someday.
George, tell me about the rabbits at the WWE arena who don't have to see John Cena wrestle anymore. George, please tell me about the rabbits.
Bam.
Yeah.
All right, Skye, your thoughts. Fact or fiction? Joe, Kenta, Balor get buried by Cena.
I don't think Balor's gonna get buried. I think they're actually gonna protect Balor. I think they're gonna try to make him look as good as possible. Kenta or Hideo Itami, whatever. I don't even know if those two are ever even gonna get in the same ring. I don't really see them ever getting in the same ring for any reason. Joe, yeah, definitely. Joe's getting buried.
Joe, he's already fucking set up. Joe is the lock. Kenta, I don't see it because I think they're going to protect Kenta because anytime Japanese media mentions WWE, there's always the racist tag, and Kenta is going to be WWE is the white friend who says, "Look, I have an Asian friend. Look, I have a black friend." That's what Kenta is going to be to WWE. I don't know if Kenta and John Cena. I think they'll be in tag matches in Japan a lot, but I don't think they'll ever fight each other. And Finn Balor, I doubt they'll ever.
I just don't. Yeah,
Joe. I'm surprised it hasn't happened already. So.
Yeah, right. Joe, I just see being a lot more of a, because they're in the same weight class. I see them having a lot better chance of meshing or at least getting in the ring together for whatever reason. Balor, I don't know. I'm kind of mixed about Balor. I think if they wrestle, I think Balor's going to be the one they protect and actually have just beat Cena and call it a day and not have him actually wrestle again.
Hold on. Let's not get fucking crazy here. Our best chance is Finn Balor doesn't get in the goddamn ring with John Cena. But if they're in the same fucking ring, the Prince Devitt, the mighty Prince is going down, okay? Our best bet is they don't get in the ring together. I don't know.
I think right now the Demon is the most protected character right now on television. He's the only one who just hasn't.
Well, in NXT, he's not as protected as John Cena.
Well,
does he get piped in crowd noise? Does he get piped in crowd noise?
I'm not saying baby, and I'm saying protected. Like, you know what I mean? Like, as far as like the character, like straight protected. Like, as far as just taking wins and losses protected. You know what I mean? Not necessarily like character protected. Like, I don't see.
No one's more protected than John Cena.
But that's only so far.
He's protected more than Obama. You can't get to John Cena.
That's only right now, though, too. You know what I mean? It's only right now. It's not gonna last forever. So I mean, who knows?
All right, next one. Enzo Amore and Big Cass will be called up to main roster without having an NXT tag title reign. Ooh, this is interesting because I thought they had it by now. Fact?
All right.
Rassslin Rantin, if
all
you
I
want to
got.
speed these up, you can.
Yeah, that's fact because they're way too over. I don't know how many T-shirts they're selling. That's their money. It's the day they come. I've said this a million times. The day that Enzo and Big Cass show up on Raw, I will legitimately mark out.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Like
I say fact just because the tag belts seem so watered down with the hillbilly fucking wannabe Young Bucks.
They're trying very hard to get established that tag team rank, that tag team division down there in NXT. Though they're trying hard. They don't have a lot to work on.
All right, and he's got a couple comedy ones, so we'll skip the comedy ones. We'll just say fact.
I just think Enzo and Cass simply don't need it. You know what I mean? They simply don't need the tag titles to get over. They're good in their role. They're good, being chasers. They're good with the crowd wanting them to be something. You know what I mean? You don't want to always blow that load so fast. They're perfect where they are. And not to mention they get over just fine. Enzo's my favorite part of NXT. Easy. He's been since the first day I saw this guy come on. Like, they're great. They're great. They don't need it. So it'd be a waste to give it to them.
He had to win me over. I didn't enjoy him at first, but now I absolutely love him. There's 10 people on the main roster who are soft compared to Enzo and Big Cass easily. Like, there's so many people on the WWE roster that should be swapped out for NXT guys if you want off talent. New Day rocks or New Day sucks? This is interesting. I'm enjoying the New Day, but at the same time, I still feel bad for them. I see it as this is a horrible gimmick, and they're making the best of it. Rassslin Rantin, I know this hits home with you. You've mentioned this before, but New Day rocks or New Day sucks?
New Day, they rock for being heels, but the coonery, man, the coonery. They're just, they're going for it, but there's a part of me as a black man that just looks at it and just goes, fuck you, Vince.
All right, Skye, what you say? New Day rocks, New Day sucks.
All of us African Americans are forced to feel like that, sadly. So that's kind of just default. But I think they're killing it. I love Kofi with his overly ridiculous fairy clap. I love it. Freaking Biggie, charismatic as always. He's great. I would say they rock. I love them. I like them since they started though. Like, I knew they were gonna go to heels. Like, you can see Rocky Maivia all over again, just with 3 different people. And not as charismatic, but Rocky wasn't that charismatic either when he first started. So, who knows what's gonna happen with these 3 in a few years. They probably won't be together for that long because, the fans are gonna like them in typical WWE fashion. The second they like them, they're gonna split them up. But, who knows, man? But I like them so far. I'm liking where they're going.
All right. I enjoy him. John Cena will change his ring gear. Fiction. I think he'll change his T-shirt, but that's him forever.
True. Fiction.
Taker is old. It's safe to say. Yeah. Fact.
Taker what?
Taker is old. So
what the heck?
I noticed he put a lot of fact in fiction, but like after the 5 of them, they became like joke questions.
Yeah.
Sting can take Brock Lesnar. Sting can take Brock Lesnar versus Taker in a 3-way match. Fiction. I don't think they'll let Sting beat both those guys, and definitely fiction in real life. I don't know. Do you guys want to add to that? Some of these are silly. That's why I'm just going through fast. We got a lot of comments.
Sting got this, man. I hate him, but he got this.
All right. Stardust will be released from WWE within the next 2 to 3 years, along with Jack Swagger, Fandango, and Adam Rose. I say fiction. I say fiction because he has the family connection, and he every character he hits, he nails it. I don't think he'll be a main eventer, but he'll have a job for a long time. Rassslin Rantin, Stardust, released within the next 3 years.
No, false. Fact. Fiction. There you go. Fiction. Yeah. He's too talented.
Skye.
God, I would hope that's fiction. I would hope that's fiction. Friggin' Cody is literally my favorite wrestler on the roster. So, I would hope that does not happen. And I'm having really bad luck with all my favorites. You'll probably hate my favorites, but I'm having horrible luck with them. Right now, out of the 4, Cody and Barrett are my only 2 that are left. Drew McIntyre, which I know you hate recently.
To be fair, I hate Drew McIntyre in TNA. Like, outside of TNA, I don't have strong feelings. But in TNA, I would love to stab him with a fucking rusty umbrella.
You know what? I can kind of agree with you there. He has not been He has not been my favorite part about TNA, which is very surprising. And Alberto, love me some freaking Alberto. But
I don't know. Alberto's weird because I love him and hate him. Like, I think there's two Albertos. There's the one who busts his ass and one who just shows up. If someone like broke news that there was Alberto Del Rio is actually twins, and one guy wants to be a wrestler and the other guy's like, oh fuck, I'll just show up when I don't feel like it, then I'll believe it. Like, I just believe it. You don't even have to.
Be the least bit surprised.
I don't even have to see him in the same fucking room. Like, if somebody just came by, I'm like, yeah, there's two Albert Del Rios. But of course there are. Of course there are. Why wouldn't there be two Albert Del Rios? This is a good one. We'll start with Rassslin Rantin. Triple H will wrestle another match against a current talent on roster, beat them, then go back into retirement. Now, beating them is the hard part.
Yeah, I'm not so sure about the beating them. Actually, no, I actually reversed that. I think he'll come back and wrestle again. Obviously, he's still in good shape. He can still go. I think he'll win. As far as him going and retiring, I don't think he's going to retire. I don't think he's going to completely retire. I think he's going to be semi-retired and pull it out every once in a while. He could do that for another 10 years, honestly, the shape the guy's in. So, yeah, I don't see that. I see him coming out of retirement and beating another star, but not retiring anything.
The good thing about being a part-timer with him, he's not like Sting, Brock, and Undertaker. Even though he's a part-timer, he's always on television.
Right.
Yeah.
So
true. Which technically makes him not a part-timer. He's just a part-time wrestler, not a part-time worker, though. So, you know, yeah.
Well, what's your call? Triple H, fact or fiction?
Fiction. I think next time he comes, he's coming to put somebody over, and then he'll probably.
Yeah.
He normally has a solid rocking going on. You know, I mean, he normally is like, you know, win, lose, win, lose, win, lose, win, lose, win, lose. You know, Triple H keeps it nice and even.
Well, I think he's gonna lose a lot and put people over to be like, see, I'm not that guy who buried everyone. Like, I think he's giving back to charity. Be like, come on, guys, I'm cool. I give back.
Poor H. He's never gonna get forgiven for that Booker T, man. He's never gonna get forgiven for that. Ever.
Oh, and St. Pete, the one that people like fucking almost rioted at the Wing House for was Shelton Benjamin. I don't know like how it was, you know, where you guys live, but I remember being in St. Petersburg Wing House watching Triple H beat Shelton Benjamin and being like, hey guys, I'm not with the white people. And he just slowly started walking out. You know what I mean? Be like, God damn, son of a bitch. It was intense. It was a tense night. Even the waitresses were like, "This ain't gonna be good." The Authority will be disbanded and off TV before the end of 2015. I say fiction. They're there.
Fiction as hell. Fiction as hell.
Rantin, you agree?
Yeah, fiction. They need it. They haven't grown out of having to have an authority figure, and I don't know. It's been 20 years of doing this. I don't know if pro wrestling is ever going to be able to get rid of the authority figures or the main companies.
I would literally rather have the anonymous Raw GM back. Fact.
I don't know why. Like Jim Ross said something,
tired of this by now.
and I kind of agree with it. And a lot of successful indies do it. Why do you even have to have a leadership role?
Exactly.
You know, even like the anonymous general manager. I mean, we went. You know, the 80s and 90s, maybe the 90s, the owner type character really took off, especially because Vince McMahon, you know?
Yeah.
But before that, no one knew. Like, a fucking guy in a suit came on and be like, this match is going to happen. All right, we trust you. You're wearing a tie.
Yeah, true, man. Back in the days, dude, NWA. Understood.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right, though, man. Why not, you know? But it probably just won't get back to that. We're too conditioned. Like, we need something.
It's not us being conditioned. It's more. It's the same thing with John Cena. It's why they found something. It worked for them. They made money off of it, so they're afraid to get away from it. And because of Eric Bischoff, because of Vince McMahon, not so much Dixie Carter, but the authority figure. Because it gives you, especially WWE, and I think Dave mentioned this before in a video we did a long time ago. WWE operates different than Crockett did. They always need that superhero that can take down all bad guys. And the biggest foil for that hero nowadays is going to be the authority figure who can kind of screw them over. Back in the 80s, Hogan had Bobby Heenan, but Heenan was never really a threat to Hogan. So they need that in their minds to tell a story. Until they get out of that mindset of having, it goes hand in hand with John Cena. You'll see an authority figures leave when you see John Cena's shit.
True. Well, why the hell not just go back to the old freaking way of having a good freaking heel, man? What happened to, like, just a Triple H that just came out with a sledgehammer, just hit you in the fucking face, you know what I mean? We hated him, he never won clean or anything, and he was still that guy that can, like, dethrone the top guy because he just cheated. I don't know, I guess they just don't want to go back to that anymore. Probably because PG, you don't want to teach people it's okay to hit people with stuff all the damn time, and I don't know.
They had that. He lost last night to John Cena.
True. So true, man. And that's what I thought he was, too, dude. I was like, oh, man, finally, Kevin's here, freaking, he's doing great, he's rocking the house, they're going to have that fucking heel. And you just brought that realization in my brain. We did have that, and now it's gone.
well, there's always been a voice of the people. If it was Dusty, if it was, Stone Cold, CM Punk, there's always a voice of the people that we get behind. And last night, they just destroyed one of those voices, and it's like, all right, great. Last one from LB Clash of the Kings. It's a little WWE product placement type stuff, but KocoSports has the best wrestling review live streams on YouTube. Well, thank you for such kind comments. I actually don't watch the live stream, so I'm going to say fact for being an idiot, but there's probably better ones out there than us. Don't leave us!
We say fact. It'd be horrible not to.
Well, they got Rassslin Rantin, but they threw in the live stream, so I was like, phew, we don't have to have Civil War here. By the way, I would definitely want to be Iron Man. You're Captain America.
I am Captain America. That is true. I am Captain America.
Rage Against PG. Love this round table. It's helping me cope with the loss of Bruce Blitz. May he rest in peace. You guys can still pay for Bruce Blitz.
Go pay for it. Go pay straight shoot.
Yeah, straight shoot's all right too, man. I'm an Aubrey fan. I love me some Aubrey, man.
Fuck
yeah. Yeah, you're not an Aubrey fan.
I'll recap his whole thing. Listen, I feel like Eric Bischoff. You ready? I'm gonna recap his whole fucking show in 3 fucking words. Ready? Spoilers! Everything is awesome! Everything is great when you're part of a team! There you go. We just fucking summed up his whole goddamn show.
I will be nice and politically correct and say it. I will say this. I don't like trashing other people's shows. But the one thing that does irk me about some other shows is the only reason why there's a couple of people I fuck with on there. Dave's one of them. A lot of these other shows, me being a wrestling historian, when I watch a show and you mention somebody who doesn't do this right, and you get things wrong, and you talk about it for 5 minutes, and I watch your show, and I was at the Baltimore Arena that day back in 1989 and saw the show, and you were telling it wrong, and you have an authority. I literally, the veins, I get that Vince McMahon thing. Shut up! It's like I get really enraged because you're spreading stuff that's wrong, and by having these shows, there is a certain level of responsibility we have to give our opinions, but if we're stating something as fact, do your research, man. Don't say shit happened that didn't happen. Don't try to...
Yeah.
I sadly have to agree with you there. I catch them a lot on that. I agree with you there. Go ahead.
And don't talk about, and I hate this one the most, don't try to rank old wrestling matches from the 70s and 80s and then use terms like work rate and rest holds, because they weren't rest holds then. You were actually working it was called wrestling. It was working a match. Do not try to describe a match using current day mindset of the way wrestling's supposed to be. Because when I watch that and they complain about that, I'm like, you guys don't like wrestling. You like bullshit. That's what irks me. So I'm sorry, I'm off my soapbox now. Sorry,
no, the one thing that bothers me about just YouTubers in general is they're either too positive or too negative. And if you're too positive, why don't you just go to WWE.com? And if you're too negative, it's like, all right, there has to be something you like. Even today, I thought today's show sucked, but there was something I enjoyed out of it. And just be honest. And not only that, but I think there's talking down. Like, you're an idiot. I'm on YouTube. I'm an expert. I don't understand that. I don't understand I'm smart, you're dumb. And yeah, I know this sounds crazy, and I teach this to kids all the time. You know what the most powerful words in the world are? I don't know. Do you know how often I come on the show and be like, I don't know, or hey, I was wrong.
Right.
Too many people, they turn on a webcam and they're like, I'm an expert, you're an idiot, and everything I say is right, and even if I'm proved wrong, I'm going to be a blowhard about it. And I don't understand that about YouTube. Like, YouTube used to be a community. Yeah. Like, Rassslin Rantin, how many times have we said we're wrong? You know, especially me. But
right. The only thing I don't admit to being wrong about is Bray Wyatt.
Well, exactly. Sir, your stock is very high right now. Kick me while I'm down.
I don't know, man. The day you stop making a mistake is the day you die. I've always, believed in that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But the part that cracks me up about the Bray Wyatt situation, if it was a week earlier, that would have led to a huge debate. But right now, I'm gonna let you have your moment. You are right. I am wrong. You are good looking. I'm not so attractive. All right, let's go back to live comments. Rihanna Jackson. I thought it was missed out in the hoodie at Battleground last night, but it was Luke Harper. Damn, I missed out, Koco. Yeah, it seems a lot of people do. I don't know what's going on. He's a big mystery. That's a guy I'd like to see a shoot interview with, because it's very mystery where he's going.
I really thought that was Ambrose, honestly.
But that was a good one, Rihanna. I would have if that was good booking. If it had been Ms. Dowd, that would have been.
All right, I'm gonna have to mute Skye.
Am I echoing, boys?
All right, you okay, buddy? Rassslin Rantin's trying to do a broadcast here. Don't be a jerk.
No, I'm right here. All
right, go ahead, Rassslin Rantin.
Am I echoing? I apologize, dude. Am I echoing right now?
No, I was done, Dave. Continue.
All right, put in your earpieces, sir. Can you get your earpieces in? Because there's an echo.
Okay, yes.
All right, cool deal. All right, we got some more comments here. All right, I'm going to have to mute you until you get your earpieces in, sir. All right, he's muted. All right, there we go. Jose says, why fucking Cena is in the main event again? Fucking come on. And then he has a picture. I don't know how to do the pictures on YouTube, but he has a picture of a dude crying, killing himself. Monday Night Raw. Side note, these are the least retarded guests I've ever seen on a podcast in a while. Props to all. All right, well, we'll take
I'm not so bad. I'm not so bad. Yeah, get off my ass, dude. I'm not doing so bad. Turn around and get some cigarettes. Dave's ready to knock my dick off.
All right, well, hey, dude, there's professionalism like having your kids run in looking for Game Boys. We have a high standard here.
Exactly, yeah, exactly, man. We all make mistakes. Just go through this. Rantin's the only, yeah, he's solid.
Well, because Rantin's a professional and mutes his stuff. He's like, oh, gotta go.
Let's say, yeah, he left twice. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'll start muting myself. My bad. I have to get into this group, guys. Teach me your ways, guys.
Rage Against PG, major backstage inside info. I don't know what this is, but I'm pretty sure I'm coming from Rage. It's going to be hilarious. Brock Lesnar spent the night in jail after being arrested by arena security at the hands of Triple H. He's reported to be heard saying, "Suplex City, bitch," while he was having his way with the inmates. Dude, I think Rage Against PG has to be old school PWI, like kayfabe writer.
Oh my god!
All right, let's see some more live comments. Sad Owens back to NXT so we can send Owens. We already read that. Boom, boom, boom. Twitter. Bad Wolf Casino is favoriting our tweets. I don't know why, but appreciate it. Much love. I don't understand what the benefit of favoring tweets are. I guess it's to get your attention. Be like, hey, I'm part of your team. We're 26-2, not too bad. I was worried about today. But you know what sucks is the live commenters make us 26-2, and then like pirators looking for the event bring up the dislikes. Fuck pirators. Like, dude, I'm so angry at people that can't pirate correctly.
Oh my god, go and watch wrestling.me. Like, who doesn't do that by now?
I know. Like, everyone should.
Should I not say that out loud on here?
Say that out loud.
All right, let's see. Man, you guys left a lot of comments. Holy shinoles. All right, Rihanna Jackson, I'm going to kill you. You're going to have to. Best exchange of the year. I agree. Rage Against PG says, rooting for Cena is like rooting for the Patriots. He tends to win, but no one outside of their small following like them. It seems easy to root for them, at first, but overall the experience is pretty deflating. Ah, get it? We get it.
I guess that ruins me up, man. I was rooting for the freaking Patriots last year, dude. Finally got what I wanted. I don't watch football at all, but I just wanted them to win because I'm from fucking Connecticut. You know, that's the only team we got. You know what I mean? I was just like, go for it, dude. Win for once.
Yeah, I'm from Baltimore. You robbed us of a Super Bowl spot, so I'm not too happy about that.
I'm sorry, dude. Let's.
The Buccaneers, you know. Moving on. Moving on.
Jack Ryder, what?
The Japanese title weights came in from you, Dave.
LB Clash of Kings, more fact or fiction. Damien Sandow Mizdow is now buried and won't get more pushes. That's a mystery. I have no idea. Rassslin Rantin?
Fact. It's not fact. I think in their minds they think they've given him opportunities and they didn't. And I think they're probably like I said, I haven't seen him. I did notice that what's his face Curtis Axel grew the Fu Manchu out tonight. That was pretty interesting. But yeah, no. Damien Mizdow's not getting anything else. He needs to go to Lucha. He needs to go to Ring of Honor somewhere else. What do you think there?
I would definitely say facts, sadly, man. I thought maybe Damien was just getting the whole eat shit treatment, and maybe there'd be a nice little golden nugget in the middle of all that shit he had to eat, and it does not seem that there is one, unless he's off, maybe training more. I mean, I already found him really solid in the ring. I found him great on the mic. I found him very charismatic. I hate this whole Macho Man thing, but like he did great with everything else. You know what I mean? I thought maybe, just maybe, but yeah, nah, I think it's over for him, man.
Oh, we'll see.
Rassslin Rantin, I put in all the fact and fictions. There's 7 of them. I got to go stop WrestleMania 7 from breaking out. We have 27 kids in the house, and they're fighting. So could you cover for me, sir?
Yeah, I got him.
All right, awesome.
Cool. Second question was fact or fiction. WWE will change Roman Reigns into Cena 2.0 by changing Roman's hair, ring gear, moveset, and entrance music to be similar to Cena after Cena retires, passes the torch to Roman. Fact or fiction? What do you think?
You know what? As far-fetched as that almost seems, it really doesn't seem that far-fetched. So you know what? I'm going to go with fact. I'm going with it. I'm totally going with it. I'm actually, it is funny, but I'm actually serious, too. I'm totally going with fact on this. I don't know if they're going to so much do the same exact thing. Maybe, a nice pair of baggy, long jeans and, I don't know, man. They actually go crazy left field with it, dude. Baggy blue, dark jeans and, a nice polo, a nice elbow pad, a bandana, and some crazy music. It'll be over. It'll be over, man. It'll work.
I'd have to say fiction for this very simple fact. Again, it's the timing thing. Triple H ain't doing that shit. And by the time Cena retires, Vince will probably be in the ground. So, and Triple H he's not going to do that shit. You can tell sometimes he doesn't even really dig the Cena shit. So I think they want Roman to be Roman. And I think by the time Roman gets to that spot, if he gets to that spot, he could wind up being another Lex Luger. I don't think he's going to carry it. The third one, Seth Rollins.
I'm sorry, you just threw me into a really big realization. This is very Lex Luger-esque.
He is right. He is Lex Luger.
He is. Oh man, poor Luger. Go ahead.
Fact or fiction? I always want to say fact or fakes. That's a different show. Fact or fiction? Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins is Triple H's new unofficial adopted son.
Oh, definitely. Definitely. Freaking Triple H can't have a freaking boy to save his life. Absolutely. That's the first thing I thought of when I saw the pedigree. I was like, oh, yeah, Triple H is like, you know what, Steph, screw it. I keep missing. Freaking, we'll just take the dude we have now. He kind of looks like me-ish. He has long hair. He's the only guy on the roster left that I let have long hair. Let's just take it where we have him. And I think they called it a day there. So, yeah, definitely fact. All the way.
You're like the son of a Yeah, yeah, I agree with that one. That's fact. Seth Rollins is definitely Triple H's little kid. Number 4, if Stone Cold Steve Austin could still wrestle, do you think WWE would have him wrestling a Brock contract or a Taker contract? I'll answer this because I see Dave. I'll answer this real quickly, and then you can go ahead, Skye. I think back because I think I'm going to go out on a limb and say Stone Cold will come back. They teased that thing a little bit too much on the podcast for payment for me.
Agreed.
Especially if they wind up taking Lesnar heel after this Taker thing. I think we'll know by Survivor Series. If Stone Cold's coming back for some referee thing or something, Survivor Series or Royal Rumble, I think he'll be hitting back. I don't see him doing anything with Taker at all. I think Taker has this match at SummerSlam, and then WrestleMania, he's done. So, yeah.
Yeah. I don't see him doing anything with Taker because I don't really see any reason for them to do anything with Taker. Maybe if Taker started the streak, that would be a nice little thing for Austin to go after or whatever. But nothing with Taker. Do I see him doing something at 32? Yes, and I see. I think that he wants to. Like deep down, I think that he wants to. But I think that there's a big deal of pride involved with him not coming back because he said that he's done and he doesn't want to go back on that. Kind of the same with Michaels. But I think also at the same time, that's a lot. That's a lot of money on the table as well. Because they're going. They're going to be in Texas. Like the biggest thing I think they could do is have Austin, Sting, and Taker at least involved in some capacity. I would love to see Austin wrestle. I don't know how good he would do anymore. I would love to see him go in there and try to work something. I don't know if it would be with Brock, and I don't think it would be the best in his interest of his health for him to wrestle Brock.
Exactly. He ain't taking a seat.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think it'd be in his best interest. Money-wise, yes, but longevity and wise, no. So yeah, yes, and no. I honestly don't have a straightforward answer. But if I had to pick one, I'm gonna say yes. If I had to pick one.
Hey, Dave, you back on?
Yeah, I'm back on. Thank you for covering for me. Sorry about that. It sounded like pure, great, dude. It sounded like pure murder out there, but it was just my little one had to take a nap, and it's summer break, so all my kids' friends are around. So he was not having any of it. He was like, "What? There's kids around. Why do I have to take a nap?"
So that's how I felt when I was little. Like, yeah, screw off, parents. Sleeping.
Well, not only that, but it makes
when they're gone
because the babysitter is the one that puts him down for a nap. So he's like, "Bitch, I don't even know you."
Right? Into my real mom. Go somewhere.
Yeah. So all right, WWE's not being able to create any new stars will come back to bite them in the ass after Cena, Orton, Taker, Lesnar, Big Show, Kane, and other old talents retire and can no longer wrestle anymore. I'll go first on this one. I think it's the opposite. I think they're so stubborn in their ways that it will actually help them. Like, it might hurt them for a month or two, maybe one WrestleMania, but after that, it will help the future and the product a million times better, as long as Triple H, what we dream of Triple H is in charge. Rassslin Rantin, your thoughts?
I'll disagree with this. I think it depends on how you define new stars. They've taken indie stars and made them popular, new stars. Tyler Breeze is still freaking languishing in NXT. So can they take established indie stars and it's not going to bite them in the ass? Yes. I think, are there enough of them, or are there enough Uha nations and people for it not to bite them in the ass? I think so. I think they can get by on indie talent that's already developed. I don't think Baron Corbin and everybody except for the Divas, I don't think the male wrestlers are going to be able to carry them. But they developed a few. I don't think it's going to hurt them too bad. What do you think, Skye?
I'm trying to understand Dave Koco's line of thinking. I'm trying to understand how I guess it could help. I guess in a way it could help because then it's kind of like a clean slate, and the second someone starts winning, they're the star or whatever. But I also don't see how it could really help because then it's like, well, who's gonna pack up those arenas? Who are the people gonna go see?
Yeah, but I don't know. In my defense here, I don't mean to cut you off. Don't you think when it comes to the UFC and WWE, you go because of the company, you don't go because of the stars anymore?
Me, yes, but that's also because I'm like 27. I think the way the industry kind of turned is towards the whole star aspect as opposed to the actual company. Because like people now go there to see like the Randy Ortons. They go there to see, and I heard someone literally say that he would literally watch Randy Orton in character do like a cheerleading move, then he would see watch someone wrestle. I forgot who it was, wrestle or whatever. But and what's crazy is that I was like, wow, I kind of agree, and that's just kind of how it shifted. You're more there to see the stars be who they are. It's kind of like just one really big like off-scale reality TV show where you're really just going there to see the guys be themselves. The wrestling itself, like I personally try to watch the wrestling itself, but I do find myself getting a little, I hate to use the word turned on, but what's the word I'm trying to look for?
Entertained?
There you go, sure. I find myself more entertained sometimes with people just going in there and just, going off the cuff, just doing silly stuff. So
you
yeah,
prefer house shows over Raws because that's how house shows
I would,
are.
yeah, I would prefer a house show over Raw because there's plenty of people going out there and having fun, but there's also some really good wrestling too. There's a lot, a lot of good stuff to watch. So yeah, freaking either way, I don't think it'll hurt things too much. I definitely think they're gonna need to establish some new stars, at least a couple, to try and bring the company along. At least a transitional star, kind of how Cena was for them in 2003, 2004, where The Rock was just now leaving, and Austin was gone already, and yada yada yada. They gotta bring somebody. I think Cesaro's gonna be that person. I think they're finally having some faith in him, mostly because Cena's having faith in him, and if Cena likes you, once again, you're in there.
All right, 6. Usos will be booked back like tag team version of Cena when they return to the ring. So do you think the New Day and primetime players get pushed to the side for the Usos? Rantin?
I would, again, that depends on who's writing it. If Vince is writing it, absolutely. Triple H is writing it, they come back and turn heel, and something interesting would happen with them. Because you got too many, the Lucha Dragons have kind of taken, in my opinion, they're kind of in that same vein that the Usos were in. You can't have two of them at the same time, so they'd have to do something different with the Usos. So I don't.
I think if the Usos and Lucha Dragons are taken care of, that they could have a great tag team division. Do you think the Usos come back and beat John Cena, Skye?
I kind of see what Ransom means by that, but at the same time, it's kind of like how in the main roster, you have your Cena, who in this case would be the Usos, and then you have your Lucha, who in this case would be like the Adrian Neville. I think there's space for both of them. I don't think that WWE is going to want to give them both space for whatever reason. I mean, they have 3 hours. I don't know why not. But do I think they're going to be Cena all over again? Yes, because I see how they're toning down in the New Day. And, well, then again, let me retract from that because Primetime's kind of coming up in a way. So I'm a little iffy. Maybe not. Triple H probably will take the reign on that, and it probably will be something a lot more interesting, something a little more, off the cuff. I'm going to say, give me 3 seconds, 3, 2, I'm going to say no. I'm going to say they're not going to come back as the Cenas. I think they're probably going to give someone else a chance to shine, let them, get some boiling under there, and then maybe come back as the Cenas again at another time. But I don't think it's going to happen as soon as they come back, if it does.
All right. On Facebook, Brody Jepson says, "Hey Dave, I know you're probably done your podcast. Nope, you don't know us too well. Already get a win for me, and a big win. The Raw was amazing. 2 Diva segments, a brawl, main event, amazing. Just damn, best Raw in so long. I wonder if he was there live. Because it sounds like he was there live.
Yeah.
Were you there live? If not, why aren't you watching the podcast, jerk nuts?" All right. Let's see. Rusev is the ultimate face. That's from Monday Night Raw. LB Clash of Kings says John Cena sucks. Yes or no? I say yes. We did a video on this channel. Is John Cena a good wrestler? And I say John Cena at his best, 1 out of 10. And I don't really like to do this. John Cena at his best, 1 out of 10 is a 7. John Cena at his worst is a 1. So at average, I give him a 4.5. But I think, I don't know if you consider what your grade rank is, if you consider 4.5 sucking or not. But the problem with John Cena is he's a 4.5 in my opinion, with the peak of a 7, but he's given everything. And the fact that a 4.5 is given everything That's what sucks. So I say yes. Rassslin Rantin, does John Cena suck?
Before May, well, we're getting back to that period in now. My thing with Cena kind of goes up and down. When he's not in the main event, I don't mind Cena, and when he's having great matches with Cesaro and Rusev and Kevin Owens, I'm digging it. That's where he belongs. That's what I want him to do. Once he gets into those main event spots and he stops trying hard and he stops wrestling, it's terrible. So I can't say he sucks, but he does not. He is not good enough to be in the position he's in. He is not a Shawn Michaels. He doesn't have the skill of Shawn Michaels or Bret Hart's or Steve Austin's. He doesn't have the popularity of Hulk Hogan or Steve Austin. So he's kind of like this, really vanilla, average lead guy who's been around for longer than any of them. So that's what's bad about it.
Skye, does John Cena suck? Look, did you hear that? He's an indie wrestler. Let me give my resume to that. Well, John Cena, I think you're doing an amazing job. You can reach me on my MySpace. Go ahead.
What was that, Brandon?
Put the shirt on. Get the John Cena shirt on. The yellow one, the purple one, the blue one. Get the towel. Get the towel. Hold it up.
Is he a good wrestler?
No. It's simple. Does he suck? Let's keep it. That's the question.
Does he suck? No, he does not suck. Absolutely not. He's carryable, so automatically he doesn't suck. In order to suck, you have to not be carryable. You can't freaking do anything right. You don't have charisma. You have nothing, dude. He has something. You know what I mean? He has something. He's not my cup of tea, but he has something.
Rage Against PG. We are gathered here today to mourn the loss of Kevin Owens. He's a great man who had so much potential, but such a short run. I remember back when he debuted against CJ Plummer and had his nose broken open by a palm string. He was so young. Excuse me for getting a little teared up here. But he was so special to me. It's all okay though, because he's going to that great independent promotions in this guy. We should all thank John Cena for making his last moments enjoyable. So sad. So sad.
That is so funny. And I love how the palm stroke was only like 4 or 5 months ago, if that. That's the funny part. It's like what?
Adrian Carmente says, would you guys like to see Kevin Owens go after the Intercontinental title at SummerSlam if Ryback heals up in time? Yeah,
there you go. There's something for him to do.
No. I'd rather, like I said before, I'd rather give me 25 minutes of Kevin Owens and Cesaro over Owens trying to carry Ryback. I want to see Owens and Cesaro. That'll be an awesome match.
Good point. Rage Against PG. He leaves 3 comments in a row, so we'll get them. Don't forget to read the rest of my 10 things, Dave. Oh, son of a bitch, this guy. It's easy right now. Also, don't think Rassslin is better than John Cena. I'm not saying John Cena's an asshole, but I'm commenting it very loudly, and he gives it in time. All right, you called me out. I really wasn't planning on reading those 10 things, and you knew it. You knew it. Where's Rage Against PG's original? Here we go. We stopped at 5. All right, John Cena buried the entire World Heavyweight title in one swoop. What was he even leading to? I'd much rather see Cena versus Owens 4 and Seth versus Triple H than Seth versus Cena. Talk about glad handing to the crowd by Cena. He all but offered everyone free BJs from the Bellas. All right, well, that was kind of worth it. I'm glad we went back just for that. 7, Sasha Banks made Paige tap out in a tag team match. The Diva stole the show tonight. Paige seems to be stepping up her in-ring game to be able to keep up with the NXT girls, which that's awesome. Is Dana Brooke NXT's women's champ material to you? Why doesn't Sasha wear the women's title on Raw? And we talked about that a little bit. Dana Brooke, I don't know. I think the NXT women's are going to be hurting. They're going to have to regroup very quickly because they just lost 3 of their cornerstones, So, I don't know. I to be honest with you, and once again, and this is what I love about YouTube is, we're willing to say I don't know. I honestly don't know. I would like to see more of Dana Brooke. I don't have a strong feeling one way or the other about Dana Brooke. Rassslin Rantin, do you think Dana Brooke could be NXT Women's Champ material?
She's got a long way to go. They got to put that if they're gonna. And remember, the girls up on the main roster aren't totally gone from NXT yet. I think the person to pass the torch to would be Bayley, and then Bayley and Emma are going to have to work with Carmella if she can get her act together, and Dana, and who's the girl with Blake and Murphy?
Freaking Alexa Bliss.
Alexa Bliss. Thank you, sir.
But
No problem.
Give yourself a Barry Horowitz, guy. Is that your first Barry Horowitz?
It is actually. Finally, it's about time.
Go, rookie, on your first game.
Christmas came early this year.
You got five girls down there, and if you throw in blue pants, if they ever give her a contract, you got enough talent there that you could rebuild the division. I just hope they gradually move it. But I think Bayley would be the first one to carry it.
All right, Skye, coming off your first Barry Horowitz on a high. Dana Brooks, is she NXT Women's Material Champion material?
Is she currently? No, absolutely not. But I think she definitely can be. You know, she can be. Anyone can be. But she definitely is not at the very moment. She has the character pretty much down. I enjoy watching her do things, just not wrestle. I don't enjoy her wrestling just yet. In NXT, where.
What are the other things that you like watching her do?
Oh no, like her promos. Her promos, I think, are pretty freaking hilarious.
Nice catch, wrestling.
Like, she's funny as hell, man. Do I remember anything off the top of the head right now? No, but she's freaking hilarious. I find comedic art in her things that she does outside of the ring. I just don't like her once she gets in the ring. She's just horrible. Now her promo like skills altogether, like her just talking, is horrible. But she does very, like, funny things. Like, I might have to watch, like, last week's NXT or something, but I remember something she had me rolling. But I enjoy some of her outside shit. I just don't like anything she does in the ring. At all. Not just yet. So, no.
Number 8, the main event saw Owens, Sheamus, and Rusev take on Cesaro and Cena. Sheamus left Owens to dry, then Owens left Sheamus to dry. If you went to any amateur writer and gave him the situation, they tell you Rusev is the face. Yeah, Rusev is the face in a lot of these stories.
Definitely.
It's because, like, Rusev has an accent and has a flag. It's not American. Boo!
Yeah, exactly. It's like, what's the guy done wrong? I honestly haven't seen him do a single thing wrong. Not once. Not
Calm
once.
down there, Bobby the Brain Heated.
What's he done? What's the guy done? What, he bumped Lana off the stage one time by accident? Like, what's the guy done?
He did kind of verbally abuse her pretty badly one time. That was kind of unfortunate. But outside of that, no. After that, she could.
Well, and I
mean, I agree with you there, but at the same time, like, it's honestly kind of normal. It's just that it happened in public. You know what I mean? Like, guys get in verbal arguments with their girlfriends all the time, and it gets worse than that, really. It's just
my wife is always yelling at me. It's so embarrassing.
Yeah, you know, yeah, you know what I mean. And is she exactly the heel? Maybe, but you know, it's not always how it. You know, it's all perspective. You know what I mean? I think the worst thing I've ever seen him do was hit Cena with the flag that one time where no one could lose and they didn't want to like screw him or whatever. And that's the only thing I've ever seen him do, and that's about it. So I guess he's a little more in the heelish line, or actually, does that really make him a little more in the face line? Not sure. I'll put him slightly more in the face line because I've only seen him do one bad thing. So yeah.
I mean, by that rationale, then Mark Merrill was a face, because he really didn't do anything to Sable either. Except put her in a potato.
Yeah, absolutely. But you know what? Yeah, that's actually one of the many times actually that WWE uses very, very, very in real life face things to make people heels, like Rick Censor, like Mark Henry, things like that, It's kind of evil if you really think about it. It's like, no, get out of here with all your morals and shit. We don't have time for that. We want to see freaking tits. Fuck out of here, Richards. You know what I mean? It's like, poor heels, man. They're all a bunch of great guys. They're just misunderstood. They're just misunderstood.
I don't know where this was going, but we just went to Wreck-It Ralph. I just see you sitting around. Just because you're a heel doesn't mean you're a bad person.
Yeah,
All right, let's go back to Rage Against PG. But this company that made Owens tap out, so I don't even know anymore. The faces hit their finishers and send the fans home happy. What feuds do you think this spring this from? Maybe a face turn for Owens? I don't know. I think they're exiting Owens. I could be wrong, but I think they're exiting Owens. And you know, like Rassslin Rantin said, maybe an Owens Cesaro match at SummerSlam.
Hopefully. I think you guys have a point there, though. I would hate for them to leave, but I think you guys have a point.
Number 9, manatees, 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 manatees. That segment's gonna come back to haunt me forever. The crowd was pretty hot tonight. Do you think Kansas City deserves a pay-per-view? Not sure why not. New York gets a pay-per-view every year. Well, yeah, because New York. That's the thing. If you compare New York to Kansas City, it's population and prices. Like, you know, yeah, you might be able to sell out a crowd in Kansas City, but they ain't paying Madison Square Garden prices, I assure you. And it's just population. So, yeah, I think this Kansas City, Kansas City's a big enough city to have a pay-per-view, but you need to pump your brakes when you're comparing it to New York. New York is just the price, the population, they're going to make a lot more in New York than they would in Kansas City.
Yeah, can we all come to the realization that New York is obviously like its own country? Like, let's just be real.
All right, LB Clash of Kings. I actually skipped the majority of Raw. Most of my opinions about Raw tonight, I'm going off what I saw on YouTube and your review, so it looks like I didn't miss much from WWE tonight. Well, if you're a huge Undertaker fan, I think you'll enjoy it a lot more than I did. But I don't know. I think the Cena thing is beyond heartbreaking. I think that's what we're focusing on. Rihanna Jackson agrees. I wanted to scream when I heard Cena's music. This is really no point to this. There's literally no chemistry there. Dun 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 dun. Monday Night Joe says, "Funny you say we're the heels. I'm so fed up with WWE that I'm either done or I'm going full heel. Heel team 6, Dave's down. We need 4 more." Yeah, we are the fucking heels. Brandon Novelist, I probably slow that, says, "Total loss. This is the worst Raw ever. Cena just had." I love how like the internet inventory has such different gaps. They're like earlier, like, this is the best Raw ever. This is the worst Raw ever. But yeah, total loss. This is the worst Raw ever. Cena just had to remind everyone that he is the face of the company. I'm pretty sure this Raw was just to pump up his Make-A-Wish special that airs on ESPN tomorrow. By the way, I mentioned that. Boom Boom was like, "No, that doesn't make any sense." Rassslin Rantin, remind me to bust Boom Boom's balls next time I see him. Now I have to go back and watch the first night of the G1 Climax to wash the taste out of my mouth. Yeah, and I reviewed the G1. Hopefully more people watch it. Watch New Japan, please. Goody Nation Entertainment, and they don't pay us. I would love to have as many views on New Japan videos as I do Monday Night Raw. Just by our standards as far as our goes. Now, it would be great. Wouldn't it be great, dude? Like, one day we break down New Japan and, like, there's thousands of people that watch it.
That'd be awesome. Actually, check that
Nation Entertainment says, "Just fuck it. Just fuck it. Laugh my ass off. Classic KocoSports." Thank you. Jair Mendez says, "Where do you guys see Owen going next?" I think we did this enough. Orton. Okay, that's an interesting one. Rassslin Rantin. We'll let you go first. Where do you see Randy Orton goes from here?
Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
He's going to be languishing because they have really nobody for him to fight. I mean, they're squeezing it with Sheamus. I think he's going to be The Miz.
Oh, no.
That's it. The Miz.
That's a possibility. I was going to say Dean Ambrose, but then I forgot Orton's playing good guy now.
Yeah, and I really hope I'm hoping for that Ambrose and the Wyatt family thing.
Gotcha. Skye, what would you do with Orton, or what do you think is going to happen with Orton?
Holy junk. That's actually a super good question. I don't know. I have not the slightest clue. I'm trying to like run through all like the heels in the company in my head, but like all the heels are just made out to be a bunch of like idiots. None of them are anywhere near serious enough to even like contend with number 2. So only thing really to do with them, if they're gonna do anything with them, is to turn them back heel again for like the 14th time this month, and that would be it. And then maybe he can feud with some awesome face who's submerging.
All right. Two things, gentlemen. I just want you to know, real life is about to get in the way of this podcast, so we got a half hour, and I'm gonna speed up. Do you guys want to stay for the last half hour, or do you guys want to pimp your stuff and head out?
I'm going to pimp my stuff because it is now 2 a.m. on the East Coast, and I do have to work tomorrow morning, so I am going to tap out.
All right, Rassslin Rantin, tell the Internet Infantry what can they do for you today.
Internet Infantry, we're going to do a little bit different today. Rassslin Rantin is becoming a brand, a global force. No, really. We do a couple of things now. So they will tell you we do lots of different reviews. So the wrestling reviews on Rassslin Rantin, just look for Rassslin with 3 S's, Rassslin Rantin on YouTube. You can also find offensive movie reviews. We do movie reviews. Recently did a top 5 Marvel movies of the first Phase 1 and Phase 2. Now that Ant-Man's over, so check that out to find my top 5. Also do Aliens on Earth, which is a supernatural video YouTube channel that we do where we count down the top 10 creepypastas and top 10 weirdest animals. And a top 10, finally, if you really want to learn how to code, you can go to Accio Code and learn how to code. Go to all of these things and find them all at webchannel24.com/Rassslin, and there'll be lots of links there going forward. So if you like weird shit, wrestling, movies, and you want to learn how to code, I got you covered. And we're going to be doing some other channels pretty soon, so check us out. And thanks to Skye for being on tonight. Cool meeting you, dude. And thanks, Dave. And the Internet Infantry, you guys are rock as always. I'll see you guys later on this week. Later this week, as far as wrestling is concerned, I'll be doing the top 10, because somebody asked me from the Internet Infantry, top 10 female heel wrestlers of all time. It was a fun list to put together, so that'll be coming out this weekend. So check it out then. Until then, thanks again, Dave, and I'll see you guys pretty soon.
Thank you, sir, and thank you for the hustle, man. You're busting your ass. We'll have to talk off air, man. Congratulations.
See you, man.
All right, see you. Thank you for
dude.
Skye, you staying for the last half hour, or you want to tap out and promote something?
I'm tapping out as well. Cause I promised the chick I was gonna call back like an hour ago. I'm a horrible friend. Dude,
no, hold on. You tell that lady. You turn on your Rusev, and you're like, listen, I was hosting KocoSports Monday Night Raw review. Say it like it's the biggest deal in the world. Be like, hon, you just don't quite understand. Like, I was on KocoSports. Like, and not like, but just keep acting like it's a big deal, because I'm pretty sure she has no idea what KocoSports is. So she'd be like, really? Congratulations! And be like, hey, babe, we should really celebrate, man.
I'm really not, I would figure, congratulations, but it's Koco now, man. I don't need you anymore. I'm freaking going places, you know what I mean? I'm just a horrible friend is all. Skye Bynes, like I said, places look me up, but Facebook and YouTube, SKYEBYNES. There's a space in between the E and the B. First book coming out as God. You're looking at Jeff Yeager and Scott Bynes.
You're sounding like a robot. No one can hear you, so you might have to repeat that. Talk about your new book. It's called I Like God. So it's about Terry Funk.
Yes, it's about Terry. No, it's not about Terry Funk. He's a man though. No, I Like God. It's about this kid named Joey, man. He just basically gets into a lot of trouble. He has this crazy popular Facebook page. And the book is called Face Space, want to avoid any kind of crazy competition. Anyway, gets a really big page, gets in a lot of trouble. FBI gets involved. It goes nuts. It gets pretty fun. But yeah, just that. Like I said, Facebook, YouTube, pretty much all I got, man. Project Wrestling, new startup indie company. We're pretty much just starting out. Things are going all right. We've had 2 shows so far. So, knock on wood. I actually have some wood to knock on. Hopefully everything goes well.
All right, and we definitely are going to work on some secret projects together that we'll talk about in the future. Your plugs were kind of robot-y, so like it sounded like if Megatron was giving your plugs. So later on Facebook, send me links, and I'll put it down in the doobly-doo so people will know, all right?
Alrighty, sorry about that. No problem.
No problem. You were clear as day when you were talking wrestling, and you're like, wow, all right, now it's time to pitch my stuff. And
I suck at plugging. I suck at plugging. My name is Skye. Like I'm the worst. Anyway, Skye Bynes, SKYEBYNES, YouTube, Facebook, Project Wrestling. I Like God. Check it all out. It should be fun. Hopefully that was a little better.
All right, it was a little better. Hey, man, much love. Thank you very much, and let's talk soon. Maybe, I think, according to Internet Infantry, you did great on your first day as a rookie, so maybe we'll have you come back more and more.
Thanks, man. I hope so, man. Thank you very much for having me on.
No problem. It. All right, let's talk off air soon, sir. All right,
definitely.
Thank you.
Thank you, man. You have a great one.
You too, brother. Thank you.
Peace.
All right, now it's comment time. So we're going to try to get as many comments as we can in 30 minutes. If I miss any, I do apologize. And if there's any for the other hosts, I apologize for them missing it. It's just that they're on the East Coast of America, and I'm in Japan, so the time difference can be killer. All right, let's try to get as many as can. Boop, 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 ba-da, ba-da-ba. All right, I'm just going to go through on. I'm just going on YouTube because the other social media networks seem to be kind of going slow. So if you want to reach me, just hit me on YouTube. All right, Rihanna Jackson. Blame the wussification of America for the bad storylines. Yeah, it's weird. The battle of PC and battle. Yeah, I don't know. It's so weird because some things that you're like, oh no, that's right, and then some things you're like, really, it's gone too far. But yeah, it's a crazy time. Shallow Wolf says positives. Divas and Lesnar and Taker, negative. Cena, and I forgot to mention Cena! Mr. Marvel Fan 101, first time commenting live. Well, we appreciate it. Raw was a weak win, and Lesnar versus Taker is already being booked better than Mania 30 builds. Maybe with these women moving up to the main roster, we will get more blue pants in NXT. I hope so. She's such a great person. Travis Moore, Russell rendered, I liked your comment about the magazines. Don't like back in the 90 and when I was growing up, it was awesome. Very hard to get someone to watch wrestling now. All right. Sorry, there must have been some typos in that one. Appreciate the comment though. Rage Against PG. Damn it, Dave. With Cena's promo tonight, I need something to cheer me up. Can you tell me stories about good ribs, asshole talent, and other stories of the road? All right, I'll try to cheer you up. Let's see. I don't know. What talent do you want to hear? Are silly? They're silly stories. They're not going to be great stories. They're not shooting you. Let's tell a CM Punk story. We were at Wrestle Reunion and we met CM Punk and we just talked about how I've always been a huge CM Punk fan. And this was after Rob Feinstein and all that situation happened. Like, just Rob Feinstein was all in the news for his indiscretions, allegedly. And CM Punk came over and we had a booth at Wrestle Reunion and we were talking to him. And me and my co-host at the time, we were just talking about how great his matches were in IWA Mid-South and all other promotions. And I guess he was paid there to be for Ring of Honor. And he kept just mentioning Ring of Honor. Like, we're like, oh, no, we loved you in this match. We loved you in this match. He's like, well, what about Ring of Honor? And we're like, listen, we don't watch Ring of Honor. We can't support a pedophile. And he's like, well, it's the, and it was like, and then like, it was like backtracking, and I was like, yeah, you're supposed to be straight edge. What's straight edge about that? And like, he was just like, these guys are fucking assholes. And he left, and he said he would come back later for an interview, and he never did. So yeah, so that's the time I asked out, and I remember talking to the Brandon, that was the co-host back then. And he's like, did you just out asshole CM Punk? And I was like, I guess I did. I don't know. Another time, we'll stay with Wrestle Reunion. Another time we met, who was it? Really famous rock band and wrestling. I don't really know. Insane Clown Posse. We met Insane Clown Posse, and we met them without their makeups, and they're really cool dudes. They just came over to the table, and we hung out, and we gave them a bunch of stuff for free because we worked in radio, and radio back then, you had a big budget just to give away shit. And we had like Bret Hart and Owen Hart autographs. We had Hulk Hogan autographs. We had a lot. Rey Mysterio. Legit stuff just from collectors and stuff, and we were just giving it away. And the Insane Clown Posse is like, oh, how much do I owe you? I'm like, oh, you don't owe us anything. These are just prizes for stopping by, We work in radio. We just give away shit for free. And the Insane Clown Posse member, who was cool as hell, I don't know why they got such a bad reputation. I don't really follow their music or product, but I just, from interacting with them, was cool as hell. He goes, well, how do you make money if you give all this stuff away for free? And Brandon goes, oh, KocoSports, we're not the type of company that makes money. So that was pretty funny. And, yeah, I don't know. I don't know, because like I want to tell like stories that won't get people too pissed off, just because people will be like, I can't believe you told that story about me. I thought we were friends. So there you go. There's some road stories, I guess. They were kind of shitty. I'm gonna give myself a thumbs down for that one. LB Clash of Kings. 10 reasons why John. No, okay. Here's a good one. I thought of one. I try to get a thumbs up. The first time we ever ran a show together is me and my partner Ralph, and Ralph drinks a lot, and he got so drunk that the wing house pretended they were shutting down. They had other customers, but like, no, we're closed. You got to go. That was the route they went. It was like 8 o'clock at night, but our group. I don't know who else was there. Maybe the Nasty Boys were, but I'm not sure. Our group was so loud and so drunk and so that they just like shut off the lights, didn't kick out the other customers, and convinced us that the restaurant was closed. So we went outside in the parking lot, and everyone left, and it was just me and Ralph and a couple other guys. And they just turned the lights back on and be like, all right, we got rid of the wrestlers, and Winghouse didn't sponsor us after this. And there was a grease puddle, and Ralph was like, hey, man, you dare me to swim in that grease puddle? And I just remember going, yeah, I dare you, because I don't drink, so I'm sober. I'm sober as can be. And Ralph just starts swimming in a pile of grease. And like he does it for like 40 minutes. And then later, we're driving back, probably not safe. Don't drink and drive. We're driving back, and I was sober, so I was sober and I was driving his car. But still, don't drink and drive. The wrestlers do that way too often. And we're going over a bridge, and he's completely drunk, and he's like, hey, man, you're my best friend. You know how drunk people are. He's like, I'll do anything for you. He's like, I'd even save your life. And he's like, imagine if, and I do not, this story sounds crazy, but you're dealing with drunk wrestlers, and it's constant. Like, as I'm telling the story, I'm like, am I missing parts? No, he was this drunk. So he's like, I love you, man. I'm your best friend. I would even save your life. And he's like, imagine if the car went over the edge of the river, off the bridge and into the river. And we started drowning. And out of nowhere, he just loses his mind and starts kicking the windshield. And he just absolutely kicks this windshield as we're driving down the road. And, like, he stops. And I'm just like, all right, like a drunk wrestler driving. I'm just trying to get home. And he stops kicking, and I could stop the whole kicking scenario. But instead, I'm a fucking sober dick. And I'm like, dude, you didn't even get the windshield down. I'm still fucking drowning. And he looks at me, and he's like, you're right, little buddy. And he starts kicking the windshield as we're driving down US Highway 19. And then we finally pull into a bar, great place for drunk wrestlers to hang out. And there's a referee there. And I remember going to the referee. I'm like, hey, referee, this is Ralph. Hey, you got to take care of him. Good luck. He's your problem. And I drove home. But before I drove home, I convinced him to be on E-Honda and destroy his car. He had a classic Cadillac and fucking destroyed it like E-Honda. And then I left him with this poor-ass referee. And they had to go down their E-Honda car back home, and I just drove home. I was like, all right, that's enough excitement for me. But the referee drives him home, and his wife is pissed because, he has a classic Cadillac that's completely fucking destroyed because, A, he had to imaginary save his friend, and B, he had to prove that he was more of a man than E-Honda. And his wife starts yelling at him, and he makes the referee walk back to the bar, which I imagine had to be at least a 2-hour walk. Had to be a 2-hour walk. And that's part of the joys of hanging out with wrestlers, I guess. But yeah, I lucked out of that situation. I didn't have to walk home. He never saved my life for the record. And he destroyed it. And I just remember too, because I was like, he's like destroying his Cadillac. I'm like, dude, you don't, that's your car, man. Why are you destroying your Cadillac? And he's not in WWE. It's not a rental car. He's just an indie wrestler who's making a fucking 9-to-5 job. But, and then he's destroying his car. He's like, it's a stupid fucking car anyway. I'm like, do you have another car? He's like, oh, I've got another fucking car. It's the only fucking car I got, but it fucking sucks. Who wants this old Cadillac? I want a new Cadillac. And then I'm like, oh, it's like E-Honda. And he looks at me and goes, E-Honda's a bitch, and just destroys his car. So yeah, wrestlers not exactly the sanest of people. All right, so hopefully that cheered you up. Hopefully that was better than the fucking other shit stories I told. LB Clash of Kings. That's the reason why John Cena has been keeping wrestling hostage. 1, Cena never puts people over. 2, Cena exploits kids to get himself over. That's very true. Cena exploits soldiers. Yes, Cena plays politics backstage to bury people. From what I've heard, I've talked to a couple wrestlers. I've never seen that be fact, but it's almost a fact. Cena's a selfish human being who doesn't deserve the spot he's in. Cena has too many world title reigns he didn't earn. Cena's only in position because Stephanie has a crush on him. Yeah, he was handpicked by Stephanie McMahon. Cena's sleeping with Nikki Bella, who's going to get dumb and kick her to the curb after he's done using her because he won't give her marriage/babies. Yeah, I don't know how much that's true. I don't watch Total Divas, but Cena has terrible entrance music. Whoa. I hate John Cena. And I understand where you're going, Clash of Kings, but I don't know. Dun 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 dun! Like, yeah! I disagree. I know I like dun 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 a lot, but I don't think his entrance music is terrible. I might be losing some Cena hating street cred here. Cena can't wrestle unless he's being carried by a better wrestler that WWE don't want to push. And that's a possibility. That's a huge debate online right now. But I see your point. Hey, Koco, where's Boom Boom? Boom Boom works in news and isn't free on Monday nights. But he'll be there for Wednesday, Tuesday, and Thursday he does. So he's SmackDown and the Wednesday Night War Room, which I hope a lot of you check out. Boom had this idea that we'll review all the Wednesday shows at once on Thursday. And it's not getting the views like we did when we did separate things. So help Boom Boom out and check out Wednesday's War Room. Rage against PG. But Dave, you have to earn the title of Diva. Oh, man. The worst thing I've ever seen ever. Nikki Bella. I think it was Paige. Paige on Tough Enough says, you got to earn the title of Diva. It's fucking ridiculous. Total nonstop action. Solid show. Who would have thought? Definitely missing Neville, though. So Total Nonstop Action liked it. Rage Against PG. If John Cena wins the title at SummerSlam, we need to pull our money, buy a shitload of Lucha Underground merch, and write multiple bad Yelp reviews about WWE. Yeah, sounds like a good idea. Rihanna Jackson says, Skye, Cena beat Lesnar once. All right. Well, I'll make sure to let him know that. Rob, a.k.a. Cynical, go check out his Let's Play channel, says, I'm just now watching, but I want to say, man, why can't Charlotte wrestle a real fucking wrestler? Fuck Team Bella, god damn it. Where is the live comment on Facebook? What do you mean? I'm sure that made sense. Sorry, AC Dub Rims 24. I'm sure that made sense when I said it. It might be a chat. I don't know what you're talking about. I apologize. This is what happens when you do long shows and fall behind on comments. Sorry if there was a mix-up. Rage Against PG. John Cena spent 1 year on Mario 64 because he never gives up. Yeah, I never liked Mario 64 over John Cena. Google screwed up YouTube. What up, Koco and crew? The crew went to bed. Sorry I'm late. No worries. I was spending time with Mom, whose birthday it is today. Happy birthday, Mrs. Google Screwed Up YouTube. Happy birthday to Mrs. Google Screwed Up YouTube. Normally I have something stupid or mean to say when I comment, but I appreciate y'all and wish her a happy birthday. No problem. Happy birthday. Rage Against PG. If John Cena beat Owens, then maybe one of these days the villain can win in a Marvel movie. That's true. Well, I don't know. They have villain strong movies. They got they were planning on doing the Sinister Six. They have the Suicide Squad. There was a comic book where Venom had a bomb strapped to his chest. I don't know if anyone remembers that, but I really enjoyed it. I would love to get that series. Rob Cynical also says, I'm real scared watching still. Dean came out to help Roman and I popped because I love the Shield more than a straight man should. I'm scared for my worst nightmare. All right, well, Rob, it's like the monster at the end of the book when it comes to Rob's comments. Lennox Wooderson says, I'm not feeling SummerSlam either. Taker is too old and a year late. Brock deserves better, and we deserve a new opponent. Seth's title reign was bad by design. Poor dick pic, Seth. I want nothing to do with Cena having title shots. Owens, Rusev, Cesaro, and Neville have been wasted. Bray will job out to Roman and all autumn long. Dean is an accessory to Roman. Orton, Sheamus, Big Show, and Kane will have featured matches. The women will have a throwaway tag match because Nikki isn't going to defend the belt unless she wins. The future is never coming. The bury another talent, Sandow, and another that gets over is fed to Cena. Roman or another Golden Boy. Overall, SummerSlam is looking as bad as WrestleMania 30 before this show. Oh, we'll see. Maybe the athletes will step up. It seems like, especially at WrestleMania 30 and all that, it seems like with bad booking that they still put on good shows. It looks like maybe creative has given up, but I don't know if the wrestlers have given up. Power play. Top 10 wrestlers you hate, cannot stand, the majority of people like. Oh, this is a good one. I'm going to save power play. I'm going to save this for Stump the Idiot in the future because I can maybe make that a separate video. I know I say that a lot, but I really have to start making more videos of stuff like that. That's a really good thing. Goody Nation Entertainment says Brock actually already put Seth over at WrestleMania 2015. Remember, that's when Seth picked up the most heat, so he may put one more person over. So I say fact. Well, that's a good point. Great point, Goody Nation Entertainment. He also does reviews, so check it out. Rob just found out, according to these comments. No, God, no, I got it. I got to it. I heard the music and I knew. Please, God, don't let this be how it ends. 10 wrestlers you love that majority of people hate. Oh, these are good things. Power play are awesome. I'm just going to try to make those in separate videos because we're short on time. I think I only got like 9 more minutes. Not that it's just real life is getting in the way of podcasting, but, you know. Plus, some people don't like the long ones. Let's see. Google screwed up YouTube. Eps. A few months ago, I got into a few online arguments. Oh, they always end well. With people who claim that Cena winning the U.S. title would revitalize the belt, build upon the mid-card, and establish some heels. What choice four-letter word should I use on these fuckery fuck faces now that the burial of both Rusev and Owens is complete? Usually people like that are going to blindly defend WWE no matter what, but just give them that look. Just look at them and be like, oh, well, it's online. And just be like, oh, remember, I don't know. I don't really try to get into online arguments anymore unless it's my own podcast or Twitter. I don't know. I just don't get involved in it as much as I used to. But just repeat what they said back. Like, remember when you said this? Remember when you said that? Remember? Because one thing about online arguments and podcasters and all that, they'll deny them ever being wrong. And that's just dick. Don't let them get like that. Goody Nation Entertainment. Wrong. She did not have the NXT Divas belt last week or this week. Sorry, guys. Oh, no problem. We've been wrong before. Thanks, Goody Nation Entertainment. Yeah, I don't think I saw the belt. I could be wrong. I think the other two guys. Let's see. Rage Against PG. Who would be the next 3 women you bring up that you think could cause this type of buzz? I think it's going to be a real long time. I think a Japanese star, like you could get Kana or one of the Stardom girls. I think that would get like a Kenta type buzz that people get excited about. Kana has a lot of buzz around her, so maybe Kana. But as far as other independent girls and all that, I don't know, because I think they're just going to go through the system and it's not going to be the buzz because they don't have the Divas only division. By the time those other independent girls get put on, they'll be different. All right. Monday! Let me see what this is. This is brought to you by Real Life Sucks. All right, we have some big mistakes. So this is Kid Cheese. This is your fault.
My pants gone.
All right. That's my son, Kid Cheese. He wants to wear his wrestling mask every time he's on air. All right, hey, leave. All right, this is too much. Security. Security. All right. I have to take my son swimming into judo, and I thought we were supposed to leave at 4, and that would give me plenty of time to do everything. But now he's telling me we got to be there 4 minutes ago. And Yeah, so I'm going to try to get to all your comments, and there is a lot of them in there. And I'll try to do a Stump the Idiot. And I apologize for cutting the show short as far as with the comments go. Please like, comment, subscribe. Check out the guys that were part of this show. And check out KocoSports.net. Jerry's been working really hard on it. Also, if you like kids squeaking, we have a father and son Let's Play with Pumpkin Cheese. And then if you like me talking about anything, I'm going to try to make a Let's Play channel where I can just talk about anything. The last show I did, my son interviewed me, and some of the questions were kind of silly. But, yes, I have a Let's Play where I play RBI Baseball. Hopefully I'll add some more games, but I'm going to try to play a full game of that. So we'll just be talking about anything. So please like, comment, subscribe. And sorry to have such a crazy show. Hopefully you guys still enjoyed it. All right. With that, I am over.